Hello, everyone.
I just told this bitch I wasn't ready, and she said, "I don't care."
I said, I don't care.
Yeah, yes, you did. He said,
I
I'm
swear.
pretty sure you can look back. And
What's
he said,
that?
I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm not ready. Like, I cannot do these conditions.
Sorry.
You're so
I'm
rude.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you want me to?
And then she said, I'm not going to light all the candles. I'm not going to light all the candles. I'm like,
What
good.
light all of them?
Good. Okay, don't light all the candles.
Fine.
This bitch lights every... I come down here 5 minutes.
You're going to get fired. Hot cleans yellow.
I come down here 5 minutes before. And...
Hey, Peggy.
Every candle's lit.
Peggy.
I'm wearing a jacket.
I did a little something different with the hair. You know?
Got a little... together.
Yeah, I did a little something. Hey, Freeside. Hey, Deborah. My love of crafts. Kel. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday night. Tonight is, of course, wow. Wow. Okay.
I need bangs.
Tonight is Paranormal Pajama Party. I'm wearing my pajamas. Hold on. I'll let you see them. Is it backwards? Thank you, Half Pint.
What?
Sarcastic, awkward, and a little dramatic. That's
Spider-Man.
She's got Spider-Man.
I was gonna wear Supernatural shirt, but I don't.
Usually we go all out, right? And we don't get like new pajamas. Thank you, my love.
Because you can never have too many.
Ghosts, myths, and legends is tonight the night you're going to come up here and tell us all about yourself. I want somebody to get up here and scare the shit out of me. Hey, honey bee.
Oh, come on. The camera, at least you.
What? You don't look like you came out of my body. And I don't understand that. Hey, Vicky. She doesn't look like I had Lisa. I don't. What are you doing? You do know they can see you.
I know. Well, that's not bad.
Okay. Why are you doing that?
I know. I wasn't ready.
You're ready. Hey, Carrie Love. I did a little something different. I think I like it. I'm going to do it some more. What are you fucking doing?
I think we look good.
Hey, Halloween, baby. So, as y'all, hey, Susan, yay! I wasn't going to light all the candles because it does tend to get a little hot in here, okay? Because this is not a very big room. Hey, November, man.
Are you Irish?
So what we always am I Irish?
Yeah.
I am more I am English, Welsh, and Irish. Yeah. So I like to do the candles back here. And again, if my window starts burning down, please y'all alert me. All right. So then we got these two, they're called fairy bulbs. And we put them in. Should we turn it around? I mean, you can't really, they're like, I don't know what they're
I'll take a picture of it and show you guys.
Okay, yeah. They're not, I don't even know. I mean, I thought, hey, Cassandra.
They look better in camera than they are. I had the idea to like.
If you mind, hey, listen, you do what you gotta do. I was gonna crack a beer down here, but.
Me too, but she said no.
Shut up. Oh, God.
What do you think's in here?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Dr. Pepper.
So, all right. Hey, Kimmy Love. Yeah, there they are. Oh, my, wait a minute. That was my light, no, wait a minute.
What?
My lampshade's crooked. That's going to bother me, too. That's going to bother me.
They're not on fully. We never added the things back.
We didn't put the doils. I think that's what it's called. When you go fix that.
No,
I'm not going to be able to function if that's
How would you
like
go do
that.
it? It's on your side.
Oh my God! Hey, rumor has it. Sorry, my daughter won't go fix the effing lights.
I'll do it.
No. Let me. Oh shit! I won't be able to function if this thing is like.
I should have done it because it's going to take her 5 years to do it, and
One day I want to use this.
I can't. I don't know how to hook it up to your computer. Get Devin to do it.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold
I've
on.
been trying to get her to get like a face cam and not use her computer, but she won't do it.
Oh,
Get the Doyle.
it's over there. Come on. Okay, wait a minute. It was perfect. Coming back. Hold on.
That one's crooked too.
Don't. No, it's not. It's not that crooked.
She's gonna sit down. She's gonna... Oh, sorry. Whoa, I'm sorry.
What is that?
My phone.
Is it your Hold on, I hung up in the microphone that I never use.
Yeah. She has a table microphone. Oh my god! No, he almost rolled over my foot.
I do too, Lisa Lillet. I was not gonna be happy. Hey Charlie, this is the microphone that I bought.
You got?
Oh, I think actually Devin bought it for me.
I think Dad.
Somebody. And here we go. And I don't know how to use it.
We're gonna figure it out.
Here's what I was always wanting to do with it though. Hello, how are you?
You could be like the podcast host from Ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
So here's our paranormal pajama party night. Yay! If you have a paranormal experience, we invite you to come up on the panel. If not, we'll just talk shit about people. Yeah. Nah, we might not.
I'm in a Discord. Maybe
Hey, Pink Manjo.
and I invited them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Come on in.
I said they can throw some in chat.
Oh God, Peggy is a hot. God. It's supposed to cool down here, like in fall. Don't you think? Virginia is one of those damn. What is that? We call that a
Bipolar.
state.
Oh.
Where we have indefinite winter. We have a good fall.
Yeah.
But it goes from spring to summer. We have 6 months of that shit. And I'm fat, and now I have boob sweat to deal with.
Okay.
I don't like it. There's plenty of... rumor has it shit popping off everywhere. Oh, yes, Lisa Lindland, she's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. It's on, let me see, what do we got now? Hold on, Peggy. We're going.
Want me to look up?
We'll beat you. Hold on.
I already have it.
What is it?
79.
We're 79.
Yeah. Oh.
You spent on my... Oh, Lord. November, man, every year I get older, which, by the way, my birthday's July 4th. I probably won't go.
You older than Declaration of Independence?
I know. I'll be 27. I'll be 27. My birthday, I'll be 27. You honeymooned in Springfield in 19...
You guys, I sit on the most uncomfortable chair, and I've been trying to put it in the budget to get a new chair, and it's just never... I'm sitting on a metal fold-out chair.
That's what she's doing.
And I have to sit here for hours some nights.
Sometimes.
And I get up, and everything's numb.
Yeah.
And you sit in this comfortable chair.
I love it.
I said that we should switch one day. She said no. Why did I bring down my desk chair?
I don't know. Wait a minute. You're going to try to get your desk chair down here?
It's light. I'm not going to do it now.
What's different today?
She said
my
no.
hair.
She said no.
My hair. My hair. I did a little something different with my hair. I mean, you can only do so much, right? You had your first daughter in 1988. I had mine in 1986.
Damn. Sorry. I'm kidding. You mean 2006.
She's old. I'm old. What are you going to do with it? We're going to... You. How are you? Bleeze? Hello, Bleeze. My mom got pregnant with me on the 4th of July.
Oh, my God.
Girl, I probably should count back. No, I probably didn't.
Why would you want to count back?
It's true. So, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep doing it now. I'm going to keep doing it. So what I just want to remind y'all again. I know I've said it 1,000 times, right? Next Saturday night, we are going to be covering Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen. They died in 1978 and then in 1979. If you don't know the story of the Sex Pistols, Nancy Spungen and Sid Vicious, you should come on because I have a special guest that's going to be here because I am not smart enough to I am not smart enough
Do they know who it is?
to well, I mean it's kind of
Surprise.
well, no, it's not. It's just because it happened in the 70s, and then you have people. You know, they're like legends. They're like legends. Those two. My first 6 months after. Oh, well.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Frequency.
we got a special guest. I
Sorry.
am, and my guest and I are reading the book that did you get? I saw Pete Banjo. I've seen a lot of his. He's really regretting, you know. I've heard, yeah, Sid Vicious. I was pretty sure what the story was. I like everybody. I was absolutely certain I knew the story, and the reason I was going to do it as a mystery is because technically he died of an overdose, and so her case was just dropped. What?
Devin.
Oh, that Devin boo. My Debbers. So
you did just completely ignore the message.
What are you doing? I'm sorry.
When did she say it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, I love you. Thank you, Debbers. Anyway, so next weekend on the 5th, this is going to be an epic. This might be like the best one ever. I'm reading the book that her mother wrote, as is my guest. And y'all know I always say that I have to make the victim of these crimes likable so you will care. I'm having a time. I am having a time doing that. I'm reading her mother's book, Nancy's. And listen, that remember, man, there won't nobody born a rebel more than Nancy Spungen. I cannot believe I'm reading this book by her mother, right? And I'm like, no, this could not have happened. No, this, and I'm going through it, and I'm a little over halfway done with it. And then I looked over at Sid's life, like growing up, his parent one. There was a lot of dysfunction, but I thought I knew what happened on October 12th, 1978. I thought I knew that Sid Vicious killed Nancy, and and that he didn't remember it. I'm not thinking that is true now. I'm not thinking that is true. I don't think so. I think somebody else killed her, and I will tell you who next Saturday night, and we'll go over this because it's really, 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 yeah, And the thing about Nancy, I don't want to even. I should just start it now. I'm so excited, but yeah, Nancy was. Oh, Nancy said and this is from being a child, said she would die before she was 21. And she was right. She was right. She died at 20. It's a lot. We're going to try to boil it down, November, man. Nancy was one of those people. And it's hard to explain Nancy and what. She was like from birth. Something wasn't right.
Do you know what week it is?
It's Paranormal Pajama Party. Sorry. The link is pinned. I know. I'll go on about that forever. I'll break the book down and start reading it.
I don't really have any, all our stories we've told.
Oh, our ghost stories. We don't have any more.
You don't really have to project. It's right here. The computer's right here.
What am I doing?
You're projecting.
Where? What does that mean?
Your voice. You project like this, and you're talking like this.
I'm pretty sure they can fucking hear me, though.
And then you turn like this, and it's in my ear.
Oh, sorry.
That's why.
She's going to be fired.
I know, guys.
Oh, state of disorder. I wish you felt. I love you, girl. I need you to be good. I need you to heal. Okay? So, again, Next Saturday night, very much fun. This night's gonna be very much fun. Um, I did look at some y'all know I love old Hollywood. I love everything about it. So I was looking up ghost stories there. I've got a lot of ghost stories from there. Um, there's always like we'll talk about it, and then it takes a minute for everybody because obviously you don't have to cam up. Blah blah blah.
You
Y'all know
can
the deal.
drop them in chat too.
What do you mean?
Drop your story in chat.
Oh well, yeah, you could, but it'd be a whole lot easier.
It would be a lot easier, but
because a lot of people have a lot of great stories, and I love it. I love a little paranormal pajama party. I have to think of these names, guys. I have to think of these names. Oh, y'all won't come. Just keep it real. How you doing, baby?
Tara.
I know that girl. I know Tara. I know that girl.
We're playing Roblox. We're playing Roblox.
That's Catherine's best friend there, Tara. So, Tara, do you know ghost stories? Ghosts have been seen at Anaheim. I would imagine, though, wouldn't you think, though, ghosts, myths, and legends, I mean, there are ghosts everywhere, right? I would think there would just be ghosts everywhere. I remember being stoned one night walking down the country lane and thought I was being followed. Hair to the back of your neck. Hey, I think there is probably some people don't believe in any of these things. I believe, and I've seen more in this house and every other places that I've lived. I know. Hey, Queen M. Hey, Truth tapped out. I really have had too many experiences to know that there's just something out there. Something's out. And then aliens, like we were gonna last week I was just a little too, what would you call me last week? I was a little too
unalive.
No,
you didn't go live.
Oh no, I didn't go live. It was a really bad week.
It was
last week before last. And so I didn't.
I bruised my foot.
There seems to be ghost sightings at the Hoover Dam. Mint and Mama made a cake the other day. Y'all need to go check out Mint and Mama because she made a cake the other day. You should have seen that. It was gorge. It was gorge. State of disorder. Take an animal and get your ass up here. Get your ass up there. I love to hear people's like personal stories, you know. I love to hear that. When something happens to you, you can well, let me tell you. I stay in my empath. I don't know if I'm Hondo. And no, an empath.
You can say empath.
I mean, I can walk into a joint, right? Sometimes I ain't even got to walk into it. And I think I've told this story before. I don't know how many years ago. You're 19. So it's about 16 or 17 years ago. We went to the beach.
No way, it was 2.
2 or 3, you were.
No.
And we stayed in this room at the beach. And I didn't like it from the moment I went in it. I hated it. It was something in there. Something had happened in there. And we left a day early because this room was so horrible, for sure. So I don't know what happened there. I don't want to know what happened there. Hey, Cinnamon, I just know I didn't like it very much at all. And then, what are you doing?
None of your business.
And then, hold on, we got news.
I'll tell you later.
Now, see, here's the thing, Hondo. Jen's birthday is the 5th. Mine's the 4th. Hers is the 5th. And she's having a stream. I always say that I'm going to have a stream on my birthday, but I never do it. I don't know why I never do it. I need to do it.
You did it last year.
Oh, well.
Look how that turned out.
Yeah, that wasn't good. A warpath. So, like I said, the link is posted. Oh, well, the UFO, Peggy. All right, so that's what we were going to do last week. Now we're going to. That will be the 12th of July. I believe there are entities out there. God tells us we. Yeah, thank you, lady. You can't, like, you have to be open. Yeah, her birthday was, yeah, it's right after. Well, thank you.
Damn, I'm sorry. My phone's like not on
No, I'm not mad
silent.
about that. It's just getting hot.
Yeah, Mom, I told you that's why I walked in like, why'd you light every single candle? And she's in a tank top and I'm in a full-on jacket.
Take the jacket off.
I'm not hot.
Okay, maybe I'm having a moment.
Menopause.
Anyways, I always say that I'm gonna go live on my birthday, but it's like everybody's either they're out, they're having a picnic or a barbecue, and then that night there's always like fireworks. So everybody's busy. You've never seen a ghost? Not sure. Peggy, I have, and I'm never scared of them though. I've seen them in this house. I can, that everybody knows this. That it'll be like, if you ever been in your house and you see something peeking around a corner or whatever, and you saw it, it was there, but you don't know what it is or who it is. I'm never really scared, but I'm dumb, so I might not be. I might have to. Hold on, I might have to get a fan. Oh, my fan's upstairs. Fuck.
Your fans are there.
No, that's a heater.
There's a fan option, Mom.
There is.
Are you on lithium?
No, not on lithium. Not on lithium. You get that? I do too, all the time. Around that damn corner. And then, of course, in the house, we have a little asshole up here that says my name. And hey, Jana, if they say my name in her voice or whoever's. And I'm like, very funny. I got you. Very, very funny. Just keep it real. I'm going to
You blowing up candles or
blow
out some in the window.
Well, we can't. That's not really hot. Tennessee, honey, how are you? Well, thank you. I'm telling people I did it. I did it a little different today.
I twisted my elbow.
And then I got this hairspray from my BoxyCharm. Every time I'll try to do this right, but then I can't get it to hold. So then I got that.
I used it.
Did you really?
Never again, guys.
Oh, I use it and it worked.
For him. I like, because I like when my hair like has the little curls in the front. And
yeah.
Flows. So I put my hair in a claw clip, and then I like hairspray the clip so do that until I let it go. My hair turned gray. I put too much, I think.
Well, that's why I have to hide my shit, because they'll do. That's what they do.
She didn't teach me. I don't know. She doesn't teach me how to use it. So
she came and got my brushes. Devin, if you're still here, enjoyed my earrings.
You look so pretty.
She came and got my makeup brushes. I had a whole 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper. That's gone now. No, but the regular Dr. Pepper is absolutely up there. It's a whole damn 12-pack full. What else? What else can I bitch about? I often feel pressure in the bed. I'm sure it's my dog. Oh, my dad. I'm sorry. I should have brought my glasses. Sometimes. Well, Vicky, I had a dog. I know. I can't see. I'm sorry. I should have brought my glasses. I didn't. I had a dog named Lucy. And Lucy would sleep by my bed every night. And she would always put her nose in my back, right? Just like a... And when we had to put her down, and I still got that all the time, and it just kind of made me like smile.
You were there for what? Go back. What were you there for?
Because no, you weren't. My front door at 3 a.m. No. Stop doing that right after my dad passed. Oh.
No, thank you.
You've had dreams that came true. So, is any of you ever had like a dream about a loved one that came to you? In the dream? What are you getting for your birthday? You want to know what I asked for, Hondo? Do y'all want to know what I'm going to show you what I asked for. You're going to say, I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'll show you. I asked for the following because I am just so high maintenance, right? Hold on. Let me tell you. Wait, I pull it up. I'm pulling it up.
See how Tara didn't say what she called me out for. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know she is. God, just go to their messages, Mom.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Wait a minute.
It's like it's
I go around the hard way.
It's so hard living with someone who is so technological illiterate.
That's true.
Why are we down there?
Because I'm moving. I want to keep that up there. 1 minute. Y'all are gonna go what? I'm telling you right now.
It was on Facebook Messenger, I think. It was on Facebook. Let me pull it up, guys. Let me pull it up.
Okay, I don't know where it is, but
it's on Facebook Messenger.
This is what I asked for my birthday: a 30 count ball aluminum cups, right? Aluminum cups, the summer edition, and a pack of really long straws because that's what I love.
Yeah, no, she didn't say anything. That's what I thought.
Let me say, yeah.
These cups,
there they are. There they are. They're reusable. They're aluminum. Really nice. I love them. And I had some before, and then they all disappeared. I don't know why.
I hate.
Hey, Alan. And then there are the straws that I love. I've gotten them before. They're like 10.5 inches.
We already got.
No. That's all I asked for.
Well, you're gonna get more.
Well, I know, but you know, I do too, Cassandra. Oh my God, I love straws anyway. When they were gonna ban plastic straws, I was gonna have a protest.
No one was gonna ban plastic.
They were. That is the truth.
Thank you,
I don't
Trump.
like Trump, but he signed a bill that I could have him. So I'm like, well, you can't be that bad.
But then today she asked for OxyClean, laundry detergent, paper towels, and Lysol.
That's not for my birthday. That's from the store.
It was for birthday.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Alan. I'm gonna be 27. Right? I would, Cassandra. Listen. We had a tornado here. How long ago? Oh my God! I can't. It was. Let's say 7 years ago. I don't know.
Stop.
And I'm sorry, I do it, man. And we had a tornado that came right down to our Timberlake Road right here near us. And there was a
like 30 seconds away.
Yeah, there was a hey peas. There was a Starbucks on Timberlake Road, and I love Starbucks straws. And so me and Devin went to loot. We were going to loot.
God.
We were. We were going to loot. Yeah. No, we watched The Walking Dead first.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And then we went out to loot. And we went to the Starbucks. And there a thing was left to the Starbucks at all. Okay. No. Right, honeybee. I'll get OxyClean and damn laundry detergent for my birthday. Yay. Well, we went to the loot at the local Starbucks. Gone. If you
almost hit me in the face one more time.
What are you gonna do? Quit?
Yeah. You wouldn't survive without me.
It'd be all right.
Oh, that was rude.
You asked for a clean house, Charlie. I have yet. I have yet. If I don't even talk about
Don't
that.
disappoint yourself like that.
Don't set. There you go, Charlie. Don't set yourself up for failure. That's what I'm gonna do. You like Starbucks? Oh God, I know. Weeks before 9/11, I dreamt of a building exploding with a fireball. Dreamt about the wreckage and dreamt about people covered in ash. That's funny you should mention. Hello, Jonathan. I was just looking at this is a pretty famous photograph. And it's of a woman, 9/11. Hold on. She was covered in ash. She worked at a bank that was near the towers. Let me find it because it's a
Facebook.
They showed it. Let me try to find it. It's a pretty. What was I saying? Famous photograph because she's completely covered in ash. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell anything about her. And she ended up dying. Hey, whistle down. She died in like 2015 of cancer, which is a lot of people that were involved that day anywhere near there. You're from Scotland, Aberdeen. Wait a minute. Aberdeen. Is that where if I'm wrong, tell me I'm stupid. But is Aberdeen where the sled, what is it? Sledge? Is that where the mountain gave way? Because it was that coal mine crap and it hit the school. I can't remember. I thought it was. Am I making that up? Yeah, a lot of asbestos. Yeah. Who was alive that day? Because she wasn't, I mean, I've had to explain. It's really hard to explain 9/11. You have to watch it. You have to.
It was the beginning of like.
Thank you, thank you. I knew it was like not. I didn't think it was Aberdeen. I thought. All right, thank you. That woman. Yeah, the dust lady. Right. I had no idea she died in 2015. But
I'm sorry, we're talking about some serious.
Sorry. I'm saying like there's a lot of kids now that have no idea. So like there's a documentary. It's the two French brothers that were gonna follow around a probie at the fire department, and they call it's one of the best documentaries that you can show somebody that wasn't alive then and how the world changed and how it took a minute. Like when the first plane hit, you were like, well, that's odd.
That wasn't your first thought.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't your first. No, because I remember thinking that's odd. That maybe I didn't understand.
Yeah, like a crash landing.
Yeah,
lost control.
And then literally a couple of minutes later, that other one hit the other building, and I remember thinking, well, was that other plane going to see the damage? I mean, terrorism did not enter your mind. State of disorder. I did cried. Wanted to go pick up I did pick up my kids from school. Yeah, I picked up mine, and they were like, when I went to pick them up, one of the secretaries was like, well, nothing's gonna hit here. I said, I don't. You really? That's not the point. My oldest daughter was in high school, and my youngest child was in kindergarten, and I wanted my daughter, my oldest, to What?
Devin was in kindergarten and Kelsey was in
9th grade.
They're that far apart?
Yeah. 8 years. Yeah, sorry. And I did go get her. I wanted Kelsey to be able to watch it, right? And I just wanted my chickens at home. That's what I kept saying with my chickens. And when I was coming back from picking them up is when the first building fell. And we were listening to the radio, and obviously. And I was listening to Howard Stern, right? I was also, if y'all remember Don Imus, he was on in the MSNBC, and he was great. I mean, I love Don Imus. I loved his whole crew. It was a really cool show. And I believe that day in New York was election day. It was also the first day of school. So there was a lot of people either voting or taking their child to school for the first day. Glen Appa does have a second place. And then we knew there was one still out there, right? Because then the Pentagon, right? And then I think they even said on TV, there's another plane out there, because you could watch. There's a thing on your computer where you could watch where all the planes were, and they weren't up there long. They were, bringing them down. My grandmother did. My aunt passed away. Yeah, dreams are. My kids were in private school. Oh no, I had to go get them. My brother-in-law had a meeting. My cousin Todd and me had a meeting, and one of them too, at like 11:30. And thank God, he's my favorite person. There were videos of the buildings exploding before that. And you know what, Peggy? That's been looked at 45 different ways. That's the thing. Like when we're doing the conspiracy theories. Sorry, I know my hands. Which again, the conspiracy theories was Peggy's idea, and it was a great idea because there are so many out there. And I didn't really fool with it. Houston told me about that. Yeah, there's a lot of different angles and whatnot, and there's a lot of theories about that. That we did it to ourselves, and I'm sorry. I just thought, Bush wasn't that smart. I voted for him. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't a scholar. Let's just put it that way. They said Michael Jackson was supposed to be there, but overslept. Michael Jackson. Can we talk about him for a second? Oh my God.
I don't think I won't do. You might get cancer.
He's dead. What are they gonna do to me now? Michael Jackson?
People love him.
Some people do love him. I understand that.
People I have a lot of friends who love Michael Jackson. You know what they say about dreams? You know what they say about dreams, though?
What?
They say if your loved one visits you in your dream and says something to you, then it's not your loved one. It's like a demon.
Really?
I don't believe that's a demon. That's what people say. It's a demon. I don't think it's a demon.
Warpath. How you do it, baby?
But if your loved one comes to you in a dream, bitch. If your loved one comes to you in a dream and doesn't say anything, it's your loved one visiting you.
Does it really?
Yeah. I was talking to Dad about that, and I was like, have you had a loved one visit you in your dream? And he said, when I told him, he was like, last night I had a dream. I asked him about it. And he said that night he had a dream. It was Papa.
I know, Honda, but people get very upset about that. I watched my mother dream. But do you know what I found out today about Mariska Hargitay? That I thought that Jane Mansfield, what was it? Ricky? No.
You don't ask me.
What the hell was his name? I thought that Mariska Hargitay's father was Gene Mansfield's husband, Hargitay, whatever. And it's not. It is some dude. I didn't know. Why does she have the last name Hargitay? And then she had a picture of her dad. Oh, come on. Yeah, her dad wasn't her dad. My girl Jane Mansfield. Do you know she was like brilliant? She had an IQ that was so high. She could play any musical instrument that you put in front of her. She was not a fitty shade. Thank you. He could have adopted her. I was just shocked because I thought Mickey Hargitay was his name. I thought that was her dad. She looked like, but Miss Mama Cannoli, Miss Jane Mansfield was a very smart woman, and you would know it though. He wasn't Hungarian. He was Italian. Oh, the Mickey Hargitay or her dad? Because I literally just found out this weekend that they were not the same people. I thought they were.
I thought you knew everything.
I do know everything now.
What?
Just looking at you. Somebody get up here and tell us a ghost story. I swear if you don't, I will turn this off. I will turn this around.
Guys, should we do
on July? Okay. Play the guitar. Played by ear. Ouch.
I
wanted to choke him. I want to choke my brother. Her dad, but yeah, Mickey Hargitay was Hungarian, right? And I think the real dad is like Italian singer or something like that. My dad. Cardinals are big for that. Slammed his body into the window. They're not room for that. Yeah, see, I'm in Virginia, so I know you're all thinking, what the hell does that have to do with it? Well, our state bird is a cardinal, but I 100% believe that butterflies and cardinal are signs. I think we have someone in the back. Are you ready? Shades. Are you ready? Here we go. Janie, how are you, my love?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, it was telling me my mic wasn't working.
No, what you doing?
Well, I came up here to tell you a story.
Thank God. Tell us. We're listening. That's what we like to do.
Okay, so I have to preface it by asking you, do you believe in reincarnation?
I think I do. I do.
Okay. How about you? I forget what Catherine.
Catherine.
Yes. Go by Catherine.
Oh Lord. she's 52.
Kind of. It's like hit or miss. I hope we go somewhere, but I'm also, I don't know. I feel like our souls all go different directions, kind of.
There you go.
Right. And I'm kind of like that too. Uh, Sometimes I'm like, it makes so much sense. And other times I'm like, but what about God, and the Bible and all that?
Right.
Because, I know that not everyone is religious or anything, but I'm very spiritual. And so I can see like how, the spirit, there has to be something afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what my story has to do with. So think I'm crazy if you want, but I'm going to tell the story anyway.
We don't think anybody's crazy around here. We really
Well,
don't.
Sometimes I can be a little wacky and all, but I'm sure maybe you've heard in my streams that I have a little nephew who has autism. He's on the spectrum.
Yes.
But since the minute he was born, I have felt like such a link with him. I used to just hold him while he slept for hours and hours and hours. And his skin was like, to me, it was so familiar, right?
Mhm.
He had this flawless skin, and everything about him was just so familiar to me. So anyway, he's 5 now. Well, he's 6 now. But when this happened, he was 5. And we were in the kitchen. He likes to help me in there sometimes. And I have a picture of me and my 2 brothers on the refrigerator. It's just a picture of like us from the chest up. I'm making some goofy face standing between them, behind them, right? Now, my 2 brothers have both passed. So I keep that picture on the refrigerator. There's nothing specific in the picture about what time of year it is or where it was. We're standing under a carport. And it's just your, generic picture of your 3 kids that my mom took or something.
Yeah.
He's playing with the magnets on the refrigerator, and that picture falls onto the floor. And I say, could you pick that up for me, please, and put it back? And he picks it up and he looks at it. Now, mind you, he's 5.
Right.
He can't read even if there were any words on it. And he doesn't know about geography or anything like that at 5 years old. And he says, I miss Ohio. Now, what I haven't said about this picture is that it is a picture of me and my brothers standing under my grandmother's carport in Ohio.
Holy shit.
And I said, and I just kind of looked at him funny. And I said, I do too, buddy. I miss Ohio too. And he says, this is when we found the eggs. And my mind was spinning. Because what I also haven't said about this picture is that it was when we had all met at my grandmother's for Easter.
Oh.
My brother came from Florida. My other brother came from Iowa. And of course, I lived there. And I said, that is when we found the Easter eggs. How did you know that? And he says, because I was there.
That is. I fully believe it too. I fully believe that.
But isn't it a comfort to you?
It is. And his dad was standing there at the time too, looking like, what the heck is going on? And then he proceeded to walk from the kitchen into the living room and pull his little sleeping bag blankie up over his head. And he started crying. And I said, what's wrong, buddy? And he said, I want to go back to Ohio.
Oh, no. Hey, Plain Jane.
Now,
hey, Aaron.
I have always felt so connected to this child.
Right.
And I truly believe that he may be the reincarnation of my oldest brother.
Wow.
He is so like him. He hates dirt. My oldest brother was the same way. Like he could not stand to have dirt on his hands or whatever. My other brother was like an outdoorsman where he was fishing all the time. He always smelled like worms. He didn't mind dirt, you know.
Right.
And then I realized my brother had that same skin, just that perfect skin, right? And I'm like, you know, I couldn't place where that came from. And so, yeah, it's just.
It all became clear.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense because he came in here on my bed one day and he was looking at a picture that someone painted for me of me and my other brother. And he was looking at it and he said, "That's you." And I said, "Yeah, that's me." And he said, "I've seen him before." And I said, "Where'd you see him?" He says, "I don't know, before." And so, you know, if he was like the reincarnation of my brother, of course he would have seen.
Right, right. I know that, like, we've seen, there was this one child, and he was absolutely sure that I think he was pretty sure he remembers Pearl Harbor. He's a child, but he could tell you everything that happened to him at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and there's other, like one kid was a very a bit actor in maybe the 30s or 40s, and he and if y'all know anything about Hollywood, it's the same way it is now. A bit actor is, not named, right? They don't have their names in the credits, but he pointed to a picture of himself during like a still of a scene. That's me. And
Right.
then the man's daughter even wanted to meet the child because of, here's what I always thought. And I don't know. Everybody's got their own beliefs. I always think that you're here, okay? You're here. And if you learn everything that you're supposed to learn and you get to advance. You know what I mean? You get to advance a little bit.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like there are levels.
Yeah, exactly. And if you, fail, I don't want to say fail, but I mean, we're not all going to pass the same class at the same.
I feel like you do it on purpose.
I do it on purpose. I'm sorry, Jenny. I put my hands in her face and she gets back. So yeah, I think that I've always thought that, and that's why, well, I ain't gonna say I always try to live a right life, but you
live a full life.
I mean, no,
you have both sides.
But I try to learn.
Yeah,
I try to learn because, when you get to be my age, which is 27, shut up, Catherine. The older you get, the wiser you get, right? I mean, obviously, hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, that's the plan, anyway.
Just always the plan. I want y'all to see Janie is up here. Janie is the one that I got in contact with because she and I are reading the Deborah Spongin book right now about Nancy.
Yes.
And I knew that, and it was serendipity, right? Janie popped in over at Steve Billings while I was having an argument with somebody else. And I thought, oh, no, here we go. Because if y'all know me and Janie, we've had some scrapes. And I was planning on doing this Sid and Nancy. And I also knew that there was
life regressions, 50 Shades. Sorry about that.
I knew that I wasn't smart enough to do this. So I contacted Janie, and she graciously agreed. So next Saturday, when y'all come back, we're gonna talk about this. And I mean, we are enthralled with this book. Janie her whole face hurt because she read so much of it.
I wish you wouldn't say you're not smart enough.
Well, I mean,
because you are smart enough. You're just not.
You don't have the
educated in the same area.
There you go. I knew that this was. I was going to have a time trying to make this one Nancy likable, and I think it was yesterday. I texted Janie. I'm like, I'm on, page 211, and I wanted to run over this woman with a car for 200 pages. It's getting better, though. It's getting kind of better. I don't know where you are in it, but like she's just now, her parents have moved her to New York, where I am.
Right.
And oh my God, that I am worn out from reading that book. It is so much.
You look halfway through.
I'm piling through it. All I can say about Janie is that computer did not win, and Janie did a side joke. Yeah, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
At any rate, at this point in the book where I am, I have taken this child and dropped her off at the nearest fire station.
Girl.
Are they ever too old for that, where you can take them to a fire station or a hospital and drop them off and abandon them?
I would have done it so soon. And I don't know. I'm trying to be the mother and the father are so they allowed her to get away with murder from birth. Okay, I'm sorry. Like when, the mother and father found out that Nancy had given, the kids marijuana. Why aren't you stomping a damn thing up in her ass?
Right, but we have to stop talking about this right
now.
now.
I know. We're talking.
Right.
Spoilers. I do want to keep talking about like souls and stuff because I do. Do you think I'm an old soul? Do you think I'm an older soul?
Yes.
Because I think just the things I say and how I say things, are very wise.
You and Devin are both old souls. The oldest one, Catherine Kellister, is not an old soul. She's brand spanking new. And John, I don't know what the hell's up with that boy. I don't know.
I think he's a new soul.
Yeah. But yeah, you're an old soul to me. She's
yeah.
really wise. Like things will come out of her mouth, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'll say things to my best friend, and I'm like,
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I said that.
Because she's only 19. So
but
she's
my mind's older.
Hamilton. Hey, Lace with Lacey. JD, have you ever seen Hamilton?
No, I have not. And I'm ashamed to admit
that. I'm picking you off the panel and telling you to go watch it now, and no. It's
then you
so
can come
good.
back.
Hey, Lacey.
So good.
I have meant to see it a million times, and I have had the opportunity to see it. But it's one of those things that I have a mental block with. There are some things that I just, and I don't know what it is. I know it's going to be good. I know I'm going to love it. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it is.
I know that once it's over, the first time I've seen it, I can't see it for the first time again.
I don't know.
But
that's the thing.
You do notice things every time because I think the first time you watch it, I'm the worst person to watch it with. I'm minoring in theater. I've seen it 3 times. I've listened to the soundtrack 10 times.
Yeah.
And so I'm over here like, look at the choreography. Look at that person in the back. Look at the lights. I'm not even looking at the actors.
When you watch it the first time, there is a death is on the stage. Hey there, Mama T. And death is there. And so
this is my expertise.
I know it. She's like holding a bullet.
There's no bullet.
But it's no bullet.
She's just holding it like she's doing this.
Yeah, and she goes
across the stage.
It's really amazing.
Because in the beginning, she gets like the king, because King George is a character. He comes out and like someone snaps her neck, and for the rest of the show, she symbolizes death.
Yeah, it's really good.
You notice things, and then there's deleted songs because it's off Broadway first.
Oh, it's such a good thing. And the thing is, though, when you watch it once, I know, I'm sorry. When you watch it once, you really, because there's so many words, I think I did it, there's like 20,000 words, supposedly, in I don't, probably not.
How many words is in Hamilton?
It's like triple the word. Hey there, Viper.
Can I say this? How many words is in Hamilton?
Look at Viper.
20,520.
Right, and then ask how many are on a normal one. It's not near as big because all of it was.
Ask the question if you're yelling. How many words is in your average?
Me around. Sorry, go ahead.
How many words is in your average musical?
Broadway
For example,
200 to 300.
All right.
200 to 300 words.
No, not in a musical.
You're so right.
Do it again.
How many words is in your average musical?
Hey, Angelo, come and tell us a ghost story. Happy to two favorite. Aw. You know, me and Janie have got
That's
so
so-
much more.
I said
I'm
it with
sorry.
so much confidence too.
We-
Like what?
We're so much alike. Things that happen to us or things that are happening. Man, me and Janie wasted a lot of time. I told her this on the phone the other day. We could have really helped each other a lot.
We could have.
Yeah.
That's why I kept like bugging the shit out of you, because I was like, listen, I know we have so much in common. Why
Yeah.
can't we just be nice to each other?
She's the most hard-headed person I know.
It's true.
You when you believe something, you just run with it.
Well, no, I just am stubborn. I am stubborn. Always. I think we've got another person back in the back. Who could it be? It's Angelo Stevens, otherwise known as Lightning Viper. Hello,
The only
Angelo.
ghost story I have is when I stayed at the Menger for the day and a half during the COVID stuff.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Menger.
Hello. Hey, Mama T, if you have Tiger Ops, see, I'm sorry. I know. I think that Ernie's live. I'm sorry. I think Ernie's live right now. I'm glad that y'all have all come over here because I can't listen to any more of Ernie's. I can't do it.
I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with anything.
I know
to
you're
do.
not. I'm sorry, you're not. That's right. I shouldn't even have said anything. I should. So, Angel, are you going to tune in next Saturday night, where me and JD bring to you the story of Sid Vicious and Nancy Smudgeon and who?
Sid Vicious. Why is that name familiar?
Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols, yeah. Sid Vicious.
Ah,
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah. And I'm so excited. I'm
What a
so
weird name.
excited.
Sex Pistols.
But he wrote a lot of songs. I looked this up. So, I mean, I'm thinking Sid Vicious is a moron. I mean, he looks like one. I'm sorry. He wrote all kinds of songs. I was looking at it today. And I'm like, this dude was not an idiot. I mean, well, not a whole idiot anyway. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Speaking of writing songs,
Oh,
did you play your intro?
I haven't
I
yet.
have to make the video.
Catherine's making a video
Yeah, I
for
have to
it.
make a video of like a bunch of like
Alright.
stock footage.
So it's going to be debuted.
You're both fired.
I know. I had to have music. Angelo needs to tell the story when the other kids.
I'm gonna say he had a ghost in
It
his
is
clothes.
Hondo.
Then at
Hondo
least
is
it wasn't Bandcamp. Hey, listen, I can tell you all about Bandcamp with Irish Steve-O. And
I miss Irish Steve-O.
the infinite Piccolo incident. But,
Yeah, stop it.
it's a
Stop
story
it.
for another day. It's a story for another day. Speaking
I'm
of writing music,
Mhm.
I gotta bring you one when I come see you. But
Okay.
my CDs drop on Monday.
I knew that. I've got that written down somewhere.
Me-
You do not need to buy one.
Thank you. Speaking
will
of
get
singing,
one.
have y'all ever
You will
heard?
get one
Y'all
of
need to hear Miss Janie sing.
I've
Miss
heard
Janie
that she's
can
a secret closeted singer. Is that true?
Hey, Draft Towards
I
Deep.
used to sing in your karaoke streams.
Yeah.
Well, then we need to redo that. I also, Janie, while you're up here, I would like to formally apologize if I've ever caused you any mental distress or issues. Different person then.
Okay. Well,
So,
I will say this, that you have, and that I accept your apology. You
Oh,
are forgiven, and we
Thank
need
you.
not ever speak about it again.
Works for me. Except we do need to do karaoke again because my son misses that. I need to get back to that.
Well, I have videos on my channel of me singing too, so.
Hey,
That's
you're always
like
welcome to come and sing. We need to convince Shannon to come up and sing.
There's not enough liquor in Lynchburg, Virginia, for to have me do that.
Oh,
Now, what I will do is me and Catherine will go down the street belting out a Hamilton song.
We did.
There you
We
go.
really do.
Yeah, Hamilton. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hey, look, we're not. And what is it? 10 years? This has been on.
Yes.
We
Been
will
on
belt
Broadway for 10 years.
we will belt out a Hamilton song to where
Draft
people,
Toss Diva, it's so good to see you. Draft Toss Diva is my auction enemy. Auction enemy. She is my auction enemy. Don't bid against Draft Toss Diva.
slop on the knob. That's your favorite. I remember that song.
It's still up on my channel.
I remember
It was my first foray into making a music video.
Oh my god.
All right, so I know I've told this to you before, but maybe Janie hasn't heard it yet, or some of the other people in the chat. So I stayed at the Menger Hotel in Texas. Reportedly, I didn't know this, but one of the most haunted hotels in the United States.
Is that in Fredericksburg?
No, it's in Texas.
No, I mean Fredericksburg, Texas.
Let me see. I think it's
Or Fredericks something. Frederickstown or Frederick. Texas is big. I can't remember the name of all the cities.
For some reason, I want to say it's near the. It's in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and then supposedly next to it is the Alamo, but somebody's saying the Alamo didn't really exist. I don't know. There's a lot of shit there saying the Alamo, so I don't know. Anyways, so apparently it started back when these horsemen rode in during, I want to say the Civil War.
Was it the Civil War or was it the Spanish-American War?
There were the legendary 16 horsemen, whatever that is. Maybe it was the Spanish War. It probably was the Spanish War. Anyways, I got a book on it. I gotta get the book out somewhere. But anyways, so I'm in a room, and I couldn't get the TV to go off with the remote, so I unplugged it from the wall.
Right.
Okay. Unplugged the TV from the wall. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. Right.
And then I was woken up at 2:00 in the morning to the TV on.
Right.
And I went to go thinking I maybe didn't unplug it, and it was still unplugged. And so that was the next day I checked out and I went home. I was done.
Yeah, that's it. That's enough.
Not messing around with that stuff. I'm not
a very succinct story.
Huh?
You tell a very succinct story. I unplugged it, woke up at 2:00. It was still unplugged, but it was on.
Yeah.
Right.
I woke up the next morning and left.
Yep.
That is it. Yeah, Angel has
was
no
done.
fillers. That's exactly what happened. He said, bye.
That's right. Very succinct. I'm out of here.
Not today.
Yeah, you're not dying in the movie.
No. See, that's the thing. See, in all those stupid movies where they have the ghost and the poltergeist, like you guys have seen Poltergeist, right?
Oh yeah.
No.
Right. So if your TV starts bleeding red and you hear voices telling you to get the hell out, I'm already packed and in the car. Where's everybody else?
You ain't gotta ask me twice.
I'm thinking if my kid gets sucked into the TV, I'm moving out and I need one less bedroom in my next house.
Right? You know, it's like
We ain't going together.
Andrew always asks me about zombies. Like, what would I do if zombies came? I was like, well, yeah. I mean, every man for himself. I mean, if you're the slowest person, yeah, I ain't got nothing for you, buddy.
I'm just saying. When we watched, we used to make jokes when I started watching The Walking Dead, right? Because my fat ass would be dead first. I'm gone. All right, y'all bye. Just keep going. I'll keep them occupied till y'all, and then it became like a very real. Sorry, I'm high. I'll talk with my hands and Catherine gets mad. So what I did though, because I'm always 5 years behind the whatever, right?
The series, 5 years behind the series.
I was 4 years behind, like 4 seasons of that show. Also, the
So did 8.
what One Direction. I only started listening to One Direction when, like, right after they broke up. I'm always late.
I'm the same way. I love them now. I didn't listen to them then.
Well, what I did stupidly is all my friends were getting ready for season 5, and I had to catch up. And so was my Facebook friends. And I said, okay, I'm going to watch. I think I had a week. I think it was like a week and a half. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to watch 4 seasons of The Walking Dead. And so the funny thing was, on on Facebook, I would type, "Oh no!" It's who and name whoever had died. So all my friends knew exactly where I was in the thing. Now, when you binge watch The Walking Dead,
But it's not for the week.
4 seasons in 1 week, you get effed up. Okay, I went to take the garbage out one time, and I'm looking around like, what the? It messes you up. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, every time.
I bet.
Hey,
Too bad.
you want to meet? You want to meet somebody, Shannon?
Yes, always.
Precious.
Uh-oh.
Come here.
Oh no, we're gonna have a doggy. Is this a doggy?
It's Andrew's new dog.
Cassandra, it was not healthy to do. Oh, is that a husky?
No,
Nope.
it's not.
Is it a?
It's
It is a husky.
No, it's Australian Shepherd.
Australian. It's got blue eyes.
It's a Merrill.
I want that dog.
He's so
What's
pretty.
that dog's name?
Her name is Precious,
She's
That's right, duh.
and
I want that
she is hell on wheels.
Damn right.
Are you married to the name Precious for her?
I did not pick that name.
Okay, because it always makes me think of Silence of the Lambs.
Ah!
I wanted to name her S'mores because she looks like a s'mores.
She kind of does. She kind of does.
But she
Very
is
pretty.
I love her.
she is super trying to be friends with the cats. The cats are
Sure they don't care.
not today, Dayton. And then my Lammy, who I got from Map, who is 5 times her size, is a big pushover because she completely owns him.
That's what we as women do. We
Well,
take over.
Get used to everyone in your house and anyone who comes near you being herded.
Yeah.
We had
This is what she does.
Yeah, part Australian Shepherd, and she could not stand for any of us to be in the other room.
Oh,
She would try and herd us all into the same room.
right. State of this.
Where's my kiss? Oh, you gotta give hugs.
Oh, I want a dog.
Where's my cat?
That's what it makes me think of, state of disorder. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Yeah.
Done.
She is hell on wheels, and she's very smart, which typically is another side effect of their breed.
Side effect.
When, honestly, if I had a smart dog, it would probably be smarter than me. And I'm not saying that
That's
I'm
not really
dumb.
a challenge.
Shut up. I'm not saying I fall in love with animals. There's a shirt that I saw on Facebook that said, "If you harm an animal, I'll kill you." That's funny to me. And it has like little prints all over it. And you can ask her, when I have an animal, like my gorgeous little Juji boy, my black kitty cat,
Junior.
the sun rises and sets in that boy. He can do no wrong.
He is.
So
I think he peed on my shirt,
well,
but I can't prove it's him.
yeah,
I can watch him.
He's
do
an
it.
asshole. I'm not saying he's not an asshole, but I think he's perfect.
The cats 100% will pee on the clothing of the person they like the most.
Oh well, ain't never on me.
They will. It's marketing.
That's true.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I'm a little offended then right now.
I'm just saying.
Offended right now. In fact, when I get up there, I'm gonna kick him straight in his ass.
No.
If you ask my wife, every single cat that I've picked for my own cat, of all the cats we've had, every single one has been a bitch.
Well,
to everyone in the house except me.
My cat.
We have 2 black cats. They're father and son. It's Juji Boy.
I'll show a picture.
And Harry Styles. I named the cat Harry Styles. I did, yes.
But it's my cat.
But it is your cat.
It's really funny.
And then when you call him Harry, it's pretty funny because he's a hairy cat.
But he's hairy. I don't.
That's another thing
his
with
name
my
is Harry.
5 years behind. I named a cat Harry Styles.
Well, his career was coming up. Harry's
I
not.
don't know if I can get my cat to come over here or not. Kitty, kitty, kitty,
I
kitty,
can't let mine down here in the basement because I'm in the basement. I can't let them down here. They'll tear this shit up.
I said kitty, not you, dog.
All right, there is that Junior or Harry?
Harry, it's my cat.
Okay.
Put on the live photos on.
All right, that's Harry the asshole.
He's okay.
Look, he gets killed though, isn't he?
And then let me
He's
show you another
bad.
picture. Let me show you
Oh
another
God!
picture.
Well, but this is like a kid right now. She's like, this is her child.
Look at
He's a sex machine.
Hold
We
on.
can't
I
deny
have
it.
another one. Look at him.
The most recent animal that we rescued is our newest cat, Milo.
Oh,
If you saw, I did a stream where I had to raise some money when we first found him outside. His jaw was like half of his jaw was hanging down. Well, we raised some money on YouTube and we took him to the vet, and they had to wire his jaw back together. The middle of his bottom jaw was just cracked right down the middle. So half of his jaw was like hanging down. And he also had a broken back leg.
bless his heart.
And stuff. But we got him all healed up. He's perfect and wonderful now. We got his shots. We got him fixed. All of that. But he is the most spoiled thing ever. And every day I'm like, do you remember when you were an outside cat?
Yeah.
When you maybe got food, like real food, 2 or 3 times a week, if you got to the neighbors at the right time when he was feeding the strays and all this. He doesn't remember any of it.
No, of course he doesn't.
He thinks he has always been king of the castle.
I put closed cap. I watched closed.
Tennessee Honey said on Hamilton, make sure you put closed captions. Yeah, because those raps are so fast. But have I watched the Instinct? I have.
Honda is a crazy movie.
Oh, I have watched that. What?
Never heard of it.
You've never? Oh, look.
I'm not a horror movie.
Okay, so I am 50, almost 50.
27.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. 27.
27.
I forgot.
You're almost 50, but you're 27.
I'm 27, but really 57. In a couple weeks, in a week. So and y'all can tell the younger people, all right, when they had horror movies, obviously, they always have had horror movies. But when I was a kid, right, I don't know if the special effects got better or, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But movies like The Fog and The Entity and, obviously.
The crap out of me.
Yeah, every first, Friday the 13th or, Halloween, the first ones were always the best, And so they stay in your mind forever, and The Entity will always be in my mind. As that crap was not cool. None of that stuff was right. And they always said it was a true story. God help me.
Have you listened to some of the documentaries on the true story of that?
No, but I guess I need to now.
It was so much worse than the movie.
I think it probably would have
they couldn't even capture it all in the movie.
Well, I'm sure they couldn't because what they did show was,
Oh yeah, it was a little traumatizing.
Yeah, it was.
A kid watching it.
I need to talk to you. Oh, Peggy, you and November Man, what is going on? I love Peggy.
The 2 movies when I was a child that I was definitely way too young to be watching and did cause me psychological damage were The Entity and The Exorcist.
That's a good one. That's another good one.
For me, it was the V series. I forever thought that there were aliens that were really lizard people living amongst us.
I saw Close Encounters of the 35th Kind, whenever that movie was. And I was young, and it scared the shit out of me. I mean, it scared the hell out of me. Because
the alien stuff kind of worries me a little bit because I have to look at I'm a religious guy, I get it.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, there's a vast universe out there. It'd be kind of, I don't know, obscene for us to think that we're the only life that was created out of it. I
agree. Because every star that you see is a sun, right? So that's a sun. And there's no way that there's not You know, I'm not saying, God's got his hands full with everything, not just us. I think,
Yeah.
us, he probably just thinks we're like the.
I mean, well, like that telescope has been picking up movement in the Orion system
Well,
with like and getting radio waves. Like, come on.
yeah,
And,
Jack.
and if aliens can make it to the planet, you have to consider this. They can make it here, but we can't make it there. So that means that they're more technologically advanced than we are.
Angela.
One thing I believe is why would another force visit us
Right.
when we are fighting ourselves? Like we're a planet trying to kill each other. They would
Because
not
maybe
want God. They wouldn't want-
because maybe that's how they started.
Well, I think they cruise by Earth and go, oh, no.
Let's go see what they're doing.
We
today.
don't need to deal with the slow kids. We're just
Yeah.
going to keep going, trucking it on to the next one.
But like they visited, like they're like, hey, let's help them get started.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
if you're L. Ron Hubbard, that's exactly what Earth is. We are the
Exactly.
ancestors
Mr.
of it. We're the colonization.
Have you ever read the first book? from
I've
L.
read
Ron?
everything by L. Ron Hubbard, Isaac Asimov, Douglas Adams.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
first book, right? And I did try. I picked it up and stayed with order and did the hieroglyphics. We're going to hit that when we do aliens and ancient technology,
Those
which
be
is
fun.
very interesting to me.
You co-host?
Mhm.
You co-host?
We might. But so in that book, it tells you do not go to the next word or page until you understand what you have just read. Right?
Yep.
And then he
I'll
talks
never finish
gibberish.
it.
And then, this was a long time. I haven't read it well, obviously. And so that's kind of how we indoctrinate you. You kind of, you read something that makes no sense, and then you can't go forward until you understand what you just read. And I just thought, you know what? I am not meant to be a Scientologist. I'm not meant to be.
I don't believe in Scientology as a whole, but I do believe that they have like every group, they have bits and pieces of the truth mixed in with a bunch of rhetoric that they've concocted on their own.
Yeah.
It's just like the Bible. The Bible has been rewritten 10,000 times.
Yes.
And the words in today's Bible, which would have been transcribed from the Dead Sea Scrolls, don't match
Right.
what's in the
Yeah.
Dead Sea Scrolls, because those words, the words that we use, gay, transphobic, those words didn't exist then. There was no
Yeah.
such word.
Right.
And it was at a time.
Humans created it.
At a time, it was used to manipulate people for money. So it's
Oh yeah.
when people couldn't read, so like priests would just tell them what it said. So they would just write what they wanted to write.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I know
so-
these were all related. Like these were stories from over 100 years after Christ died, right?
Mhm.
Oh, Sister Callie, thank you, my love. Have you seen the movie Harriet? No. Do I have to look at that, Sister Callie? Am I have to write that down? And it's going to scare the shit out of me, and then I'm going to be up all night.
You can even go back 10 years if you think about it. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Janie, you seem pretty biblically inclined. If you take a Bible today and go back 10 years to a Bible then, even there's huge comparable differences between the two books.
Yeah, depending on what translation. I mean, they're always coming up with new translations. And the thing with that is that our vocabulary has changed over the years. So, the original Bible might have used a word like you laid with someone or you lie with someone in a certain way. Whereas today we would say, to have relations with that person or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all how it's translated. Maybe that's not even what they meant originally,
Yeah, it's hard to tell because I think the original word was considered transcribed.
I wrote it down, baby.
I'm trying to remember my biblical teachings back when I was a preacher. So the way I understood it is the original word was breathed into man's minds and penned. So basically it was God writing the word. And then obviously over the years it's been rewritten, retranscribed, rewritten, retranscribed, rewritten.
But the Bible, and I'm sure this with every religious book out there, can be interpreted 40 different ways.
it's all in the mind of the reader.
Yeah, exactly. You can interpret it any way. And then
Yeah.
the thing is, if you go to a specific church and then you listen to the way he interprets it, and that might not be at all the way you do it, And so,
see, I'm always at odds with my spiritual side versus my human side, I guess. Is the other.
Yeah.
So, like, spiritually, I'm against a lot of things that we see in the world, even though my human side's like, what's it to me? I don't care.
I think
yeah,
called spiritually versus in your flesh. Your
flesh,
Yeah. As human, that's kind of like, I have this notion that we are all born exactly equal as humans. We are all equal with, the same value. But then I can dissect that down to what kind of a person you are. And I don't think being a person is the same as being a human. There are some people who are better people. Like, I'll never, say that I'm not a worse person than someone like, I don't know.
Use a fake name. It's on YouTube. Use a fake name.
Well, I'm just thinking like someone who did really great things in the world. Like, personhood is different between every person. It's subjective.
Yeah. Like for me, when I look at people like Mother Teresa is to me was both a spiritual person and a very perpetual human being, like somebody that we should aspire to be like.
And you know what, though, with her, she saw so much, right, in her life. She saw the worst people on earth and what they could do to children and whatnot, and she never lost her faith.
That's so. I mean, that's spectacular. Because I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I've questioned my faith 100,000 times. If I was going to be honest with you,
if you're not questioning it, you're not doing it right.
Right.
If you're not questioning it, you are simply brainwashed. That's all.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Being
hard when you. It's hard when you look at the world. You'd be like, "What? What are we doing?" Like, I don't understand. Like, and that's mostly like if you look. If I don't know if anybody here listens to my music besides Shannon, but like my music, most of it, if you listen to it, besides the parody ones, most of it is my journey through life. Like, things that I've seen, things I've experienced. Yeah, it's my son is very much the best part of my legacy. Like everything about him is so much better than I am. And I'm not ashamed of that. That should be something that we should aspire to as parents.
I think every parent should want their child to be better than them. Like, and that's what I'm saying, like a better person.
Yeah, he's much better.
I think human rights, every human is born and deserves human rights. But people go around saying all the time, "Oh, you act like you're better than me. She thinks she's better than me," or whatever. Well, that's not a good thing to act like you're better than anyone. But let's just be real. There are people who are better at being a person.
Yes.
Not necessarily better at being a human, because we're all equal in that.
I agree.
I'll watch someone who's rescued 500 animals and I think, gosh, she's a better person than I. Well, Nancy Spongeon's parents, Shannon, have to be better people than I am because, like I said, I would have dropped her off at the nearest firehouse.
I would have drop kicked her ass out. I'm sorry. PDX has joined us on the panel tonight. PDX.
Hello.
You met Janie. Janie is over here beside me. Over there. Beside me there. That's Janie. Janie, that's PDX.
I've never met you, but I have seen you, I think over at Steve.
Yes, I go on this side. Hold on. I can't even find I'm losing everything. I don't even know where. I turned my camera off for a moment. And now I'm lost.
Oh, here comes all the paranormal people. Where the hell y'all been?
Oh, y'all Jesus. Hello, everybody. They're following me.
No. Y'all been hiding somewhere anyway.
What does PDX stand for?
Portland. No, PDX is actually Portland International Airport, but here in Portland, Oregon, pretty much so PDX is short for Portland is how they do it. So they got like PDX pizza, PDX flowers.
Oh.
It's a nickname, and they never had PDX Paranormal. I'm like, I'm taking that. Kind of rolls off your tongue.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay.
It does.
All right.
So, yeah, we've been talking about just about everything here.
Okay.
I have to make sure. Hold on. I always have to make sure my curtains aren't on fire.
Oh, I found the tab.
Wait, are those real candles?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you're insane. Why don't you just get the electronic ones? They do the
I
same
told
thing.
her to.
I think
Because I like to live dangerously. Okay.
they should.
All right, I'm sending you the flameless candles.
But let me just say this. Okay,
We're at
this
the
is
dollar
actually
store.
a very deep
Mom,
window.
You're taking
Oh,
your
sorry.
curtains.
See, here you go. This is what you needed. Oh,
Right
the
there.
no-
Yeah, no,
Why did you get the
absolutely.
candles?
and every now and then have a surprise for it.
Oh, I need that.
Deep window, right? It's like, what would you think? It was like 7 or 8 inches.
Down?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Shannon.
Oh.
Shannon.
What?
Don't forget to thumbs up this chat.
I have met you numerous times. I'm sending you flameless candles.
Oh, go get them. She
should
said
say-
to do it, but I just did.
I think you should just sit in pitch black with a flashlight under each of your chins.
Well,
there you
I mean, if you see these dumb lights we bought that I thought were going to be just amazing, and they're just stupid. And then we did agree that we weren't going to light the candles because it
No,
gets
we
hot.
didn't. We didn't. We agreed that we wouldn't like that many candles.
Okay,
I
that's
thought
right.
maybe the ones in the back and like 2 on either side. I come in here,
Or-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles.
That's not a lot.
There's 10 candles lit in this room.
Shannon, you know your mom lives dangerously. I mean, she
11.
plants a garden with 18 fucking deer coming into.
Right.
Doesn't mean neither.
And I'm telling you right now. I'm
Oh,
telling
I'm
you right
sorry,
now.
I swore. I apologize.
Next year, that garden is going in. I didn't do it this year. I did it last year because I was so those damn deer. I can't even. It's going in next year. And God help any animal that crosses my yard. You hear what I'm saying? Bunnies, deers. It's going to be a massacre out there.
If you go out there and you pee around your own garden, will that keep animals away?
I don't know, but I think Shannon should test that.
I think
It's supposed to keep gophers and little groundhoggies.
I can already see
Moles.
the police
Moles.
report from the neighbors.
The police
There's a
report
woman
me.
squatting and peeing in her yard.
Now, my neighbor is peeing all over her yard. It is really disturbing us. Yeah, that's going to happen for sure. Absolutely.
Janie, the one year that I met up with Shannon, I got her a huge picture of a deer, and it was shouting her name like Ozzy Osbourne shouts for Sharon. Except it said Shannon.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Y'all don't even know that me and these damn deers. I can't.
I gotta meet up with Shannon and Kat someday.
I know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, if you do, I recommend doing it at the Woodfire Grill, home of the largest and delicious, most bestest buffet you'll ever have.
It
Oh
really
my
is.
God.
And I
None of the
mean,
buffets, I get my money's worth. I don't fucking care. I will.
You will get your money's worth here. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, carving stations.
Stop.
It's so good. It's so good. It's kind of like
Awesome Halloween.
well.
You got
Wait a minute. We got something going on.
You got a bird loose.
It sounded like it's at the foot of the steps.
It did sound like it was coming down the steps, right?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
No, something is over there.
I'm not going.
I'm not going either. We're going to sleep here. Throw out the window.
I'll be running out the door. I'll be going, not out the door. I'll be running to the noise.
Well, I
Wait,
mean,
stop.
Reply to my comment and I will tell you something top secret about YouTube. Let me tell you something top secret about YouTube. You ready? YouTube does not care about YouTube.
No. YouTube is vile.
They make money other places.
it's, but it's like everywhere else. If you get your core group, and Angela and I can talk about this, it ends up switching around. But if you get a core group, right, of And you don't even have to be like-minded. I don't even think you have to be like-minded. It's like Janie was talking about.
I think being
different. There was this book of questions, and I got this thing 30 years ago. And one of the questions was, do you think that you are that humans are human trying to be spiritual, or spirits trying to be human?
I think we're spirits trying to be human.
And that's a big question.
This is a meat suit. What we got on, like literally, it's a meat suit.
Yeah, but are we like spiritual trying to be human, or human trying to be spiritual?
I call it a bag of skin and water.
Yeah,
that's all we are. A bag of skin and water, some bones.
You know, Rainn Wilson, the guy who played Dwight.
Dwight
Dawkins. Dwight
Schrute.
beat Bears Battlestar.
Yeah.
But he wrote a book called Soul Boom: Why We Need a Spiritual Revolution, because he believes that we are spiritual beings that is experiencing human life. That we're not.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like that's his beliefs.
Right.
And so he believes that like when we go on, we're gonna go be with the universe when we go.
So this is our corporeal journey.
So okay, let me ask this. So where would you rather be? Okay, so would you rather be up in the mountains camping, or would you rather spending the day, or would you rather be and you had unlimited money to go to the mall and go shopping?
I would rather
be at the beach. Hold on, would you rather be at the beach?
Nope.
Or would you like to travel?
I'm doing that one right there.
Traveling?
I live in an RV and I travel with the family.
Nice.
I try to avoid as much human contact as possible, so I get most of what I need.
So yours would be like the beach and the mountain. You're with Earth.
No, I avoid all water sources.
Oh, really? You don't go to the beach? Okay, so he doesn't go to the beach, but
he does go to the beach.
Mountains and stuff. So where would you guys like to be? I love the mountains.
Yeah,
I love the mountains.
We're surrounded by mountains. So we are literally surrounded by mountains. And quite frankly, when you're surrounded by mountains, you're like, because I know every inch of those mountains, right?
Right.
But it's like when we go to we go to the beach, and I would ask one of the guys in the that worked there, well, where do y'all go for vacation? And he said, we go to the mountains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we'll pass you. Yeah.
I think I would want to travel.
Yeah.
Because I really want to go to like a small town where like there's like I want to go to a small town where like
I know the best place for you to go. When my wife and I and our son and my brother-in-law and we traveled the 8,000 miles across the U.S. where we ended up staying in Bend, Oregon at some point.
I was getting ready. Oh my God, that was right in my head. I was going to say Bend, Oregon, because that's 2.5 hours from me.
But do you know what you see on your way to Bend, Oregon, for about 1,388 miles?
Flatland
every
mountains.
10 miles, you see the sign: Visit Waldrug. Visit Waldrug, the greatest little town ever. Visit for 1,000 miles. And it sucks you in. You've seen it enough times, so you figure, here I am with a 35-foot RV. I'm like, let's go to Waldrug. So we go to Waldrug. Worst experience of your life. It is a tourist trap. Every single store is like selling you something.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to go.
Forge is somewhere I think would be the same.
They suck you in with 10-cent hot dogs and 5-cent coffee.
Fun fact about Bend.
Yeah,
they have the last. So Bend is awesome.
We stayed in this crater of a RV park that had shit reception for internet, so we ended up having to buy Starlink.
Hold on, I forgot. Hold on, Blockbusters. Bend has the only Blockbusters left in the United States.
Yes, and it's a big tourist attraction as well.
Yes. So okay, sorry.
So we were staying. To our back was the ocean, and every day we would hear these seals that would come through, and then from Bend we went into seals.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no. See, okay, they're cute from afar. Okay,
Hey, freaking fabulous.
but when a bunch of them get together,
Oh,
it's just
yeah. It's loud.
yeah, in surround sound.
okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something about seals that's a little different than humans. Okay, seals don't give two shits where they shit and piss. Whether it's on top of another seal, on your foot, up over the archway where you're standing, they don't care. They just go,
Look
at you. That's
Look at
nice.
that.
Hi, baby. Lily.
But yeah, so we traveled. We went from we did Pennsylvania, we did Ohio. Obviously, we did Ohio because we met up with Shredder there.
Right.
We did Colorado. We did Kansas because we met up with Uni. We did Iowa, Utah, Nevada.
Don't say Nebraska because I don't want to talk about Nebraska.
He's gonna talk about Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Oh my god.
And then Washington State, where we met up with Uber, obviously. And then
Uber Goober?
Yeah, Uber Goober.
Yeah,
I know her. I've known her for like fucking 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she don't like me anymore, so.
I met her. We had lunch. She's a sweetheart. She's still.
She is. She just got mad because of somebody else I was hanging out with. So.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know.
Exactly.
You have to basically. I've learned a valuable lesson in the last year. Here's the lesson.
What's the lesson?
No matter all the shit that's happened, I still walked away with some pretty classy friends that I considered to be worth all of the other shit that I went through to get to that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you don't want yes men or women.
No.
You do want people that are going to legitimately give you good advice. Whether you listen to the advice or not is irrelevant, but at least be willing to give you that advice. And if they're not willing to listen, then you have to be willing to walk away from it. Because if it's not adding any value, there's no point in you staying in a relationship that costs you money. It's like staying in a house that's worth $20,000, but you have a $300,000 mortgage on it. Doesn't make sense.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
I've traveled too, but I didn't live in an RV, but I'd like to get a van and just travel, like that. But I've traveled all along the East Coast. I because I go to places that do paranormal. That I go investigate in like old asylums and stuff like that. So
you know what happens though if you get a van?
I'll be traveling.
You're gonna find yourself living in the van. Down by the river.
I want to get a white van. Now, I told my husband, because we have a 34-foot trailer and stuff, but some places, I'm like, we just can't take that because sometimes I just want to go off road because there's abandoned buildings. And I like to check out abandoned buildings and stuff. And we just can't take the trailer up that way. So a van is a whole lot easier and just, a whole lot cheaper than traveling because you know how much airfare I've paid out the ass to travel to these places. So a van would be so much better.
Like the Scooby-Doo van.
Yes, actually, there is a Scooby-Doo van here in Oregon. But anyways,
mystery machine.
Mama T just said, I think in the last year or so, there's been a shift in trying to think how to say this. So many people have shown their colors that it's impossible now to ignore. You could ignore it before, but so many people have shown their true colors. And have to be able just to say, look, this isn't working for me. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, Angelo said, you have a $20,000 house with a $300,000 mortgage.
Right.
Mama T has been through a lot. I've been through a lot. Angelo's been through a lot. It's not that I choose my friends wiser because I'm always I do. I choose my friends wiser. That's probably I do.
All
I
right,
do.
let's get back to ghost stories and start talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, here's what I do want to tell you. Okay, so everybody knows that me and Janie are coming. What? Sid Vicious and Nancy. But the Chelsea Hotel that Nancy died in was built. I can't remember, but anyway, some of the survivors from the Titanic stayed in that hotel, and it's haunted.
Where's this at?
This Chelsea Hotel in not Lynchburg, the Chelsea Hotel in New York.
Okay.
So we have a lot
Oh,
of murders because it was a little, got a little dingy and dodgy there for a while. And then, so we had the people from the Titanic stayed there, the survivors, and then we have Miss Nancy who was murdered. And and if y'all ever seen that hotel, if you just look at it from the outside, it's creepy as shit.
Is that the hotel with the water tanks on the roof?
No, you're thinking about LA.
No,
Yeah,
Cecil.
Cecil in California. I want to go to that one too.
And I was going to cover her,
I have
the girl that fell in.
an announcement.
Oh,
No,
Kathy.
Oh, she got pushed in. Somebody put her up there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah,
too much.
100%.
Because it was still locked. It was locked from the outside.
Well, the way she had to climb, she had to get to the tower. She had to leave like a window, climb an outside ladder on the outside of the hotel, get over to the actual water towers. She would have had to have opened them and gotten in there. I don't think you could open them from in there, but she had on oh, it was a lot. Hold on, I can't remember. Let me think.
I think that's its own mystery that you can.
Yeah.
You can do mysteries in the Stanley.
Well, that's what caused the whole
Cecil.
Stanley thing. Cecil, right? Sorry, Cecil thing. Yeah.
But I want to say those footsteps we heard was Chris Orr. Okay?
Oh, damn it,
Chris.
honey! Sit your ass down up there.
I texted him and I said, "Bro, are you walking above us?" Okay, I sent that at 10:29. At 10:39, 10 minutes later, he said, "No, I was 10 minutes ago though."
Yeah, we go.
I asked.
Then watch
10
her.
minutes
So there's
ago.
a night race tonight at Atlanta. Okay, we like NASCAR here. Don't judge. And literally, when they started the race, the entire field wrecked. I don't even know. It was the entire field. There might be some guy that got in somehow, and he's probably the one that just won the race. So there was nobody left. Honestly, nobody left. I'm going to be November Van and Peggy are having a conversation that we don't know about, but I'm keeping my eye on it. Hey, Spirit Wolf.
I have a brilliant idea.
What?
Okay. We get our shit together, right?
That's not going to happen, but okay.
We save our pennies.
Okay.
And I want you and I to at least one place.
Okay.
Maybe we can do it permanently. But at least one place, you and I go and investigate.
I got the perfect place.
And it'd be between Texas and here.
Well, anywhere. I can drive. I don't fly, so I'd have to drive, but or take the train.
We should.
I'm just going to throw out
a hospital is really good. A lot of activity there.
I'm going to throw out a city.
South Vicksburg Hospital in Tennessee.
Just because I've had personal experience with it, I think you should do Gettysburg.
Oh, Gettysburg. Yeah, that's
a lot of ghosts there.
And we'll find it. I was you go. It's kind of like if I were a storm chaser.
You'd find
I'd find it. Don't worry. I'd find that thing. It would roll right over me, right? But also, if I was a ghost chaser, believe me, I'd find every damn one of them.
Oh, of course we would live stream it, Teresa. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
One thing you might not know about me, I don't claim to be like a great psychic or anything. And again, if you want to think I'm crazy, you can. But I am very intuitive. And I do have a lot of clairaudient and clairvoyant experiences.
St. Augustine is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
I don't know if you've ever heard me tell any of my stories about that. But I would love for us to live stream an investigation of a place and just see what we get. Like just me and you alone together. I mean, if we wanted to bring someone else like to do a camera or something, that's fine.
I got all the equipment. I got all the equipment. That's what I do. I travel around and do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I would not be the right choice because if something happens and there's ghosts, I am leaving both of you there and running the fuck away.
That's why I say just mainly she and I, because it would be our realistic, like it wouldn't be like these other channels that put on and every noise they hear, they're like, oh, did you hear that? You know, it would be me and Shannon like, what the heck was that? You know?
And that's how I am when I go investigate.
I would be like,
I really don't like more than 4 people. Okay, so 2 people go off because you never go by yourself. 2 people go one place, 2 people go to the other. When we went to Penhurst, there was 10 of us, and Penhurst is really big, but there was contamination because you hear people talk really loud. It's like, you don't need a fucking yell. And so that's but that's why I ended up going a quarter mile away and went and stayed in the infirmary. An hour and a half. It was the God, I'm saying it wrong. It's part of the hospital.
It's the infirmary.
That's it. Okay. And my live stream, I literally got locked in there for an hour and a half.
Well,
and so, all right, let me make a mental note.
Don't go by yourself.
Don't go anywhere with PDX. Don't go anywhere and don't go anywhere with Cheney.
Probably mostly what you would hear from me is, I think I just peed my pants.
Yeah, and then I would say, me too. No, or I didn't pee.
But Jamie, you say what I say, because you start telling a story and you're like, well, people think I'm crazy, but I'm intuitive and stuff like that. I tell people I'm just a very sensitive empath. Yeah. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium or anything like that, but sometimes things come through and it's really weird. I can see what they see, and I describe these to people. And like Cindy, do you guys know Cindy Lopez?
I know Cindy Lopez.
Okay.
I don't.
I didn't know her. She just came to my chat, and her husband was showing me things, and I'm asking her. It's on my live stream. I'm saying, open that left-hand drawer, at the desk. There's a pocket knife there. Yeah. Everything I said was there. And so, yeah.
Well, see, my problem is that I am crazy. Like I have, and so there's always a fine line with me about if I can believe what I'm getting, what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing. Can I believe that, or am I just having a manic episode?
You got to debunk everything.
Like I've had real life hallucinations, so I know what they're like. I had like a psychotic episode when I was coming off of steroids one time. And I remember that my boyfriend's face was melting and he was turning into the devil, and then he would be Jesus. I got the very generic hallucination. Didn't even get a fun one. I just got the whole religious thing. And so I know how that felt. And so it's a little bit easier for me to understand now when something is coming from like being paranoid or being a little bit manic or something like that. And when it's coming from spirit. But there's still always that, like when I want to explain it to someone, are they going to just think I'm crazy? Because I do have my diagnosis.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Now, that's funny you mentioned that, because PDX, do you remember a couple I think might have been the last time that we did this? And I would talk about how I distinctly remember being living in LA in the early 70s. I was born in 1968. I've always lived here, but I can like see the house that I lived in, the street.
Yeah.
It's very real. And so I was upstairs today watching Columbo. Don't make fun of me. I love Columbo. But that's those shows like that. It's like I recognized everything there. And I've never been there. And then some people we're talking to you about you could shift. I don't know what.
I think that was like there's like things.
There's a name for it though.
Reality shifting.
Oh.
It was like a
Is
big
that what
thing
I
in
did?
2020, and I think it was. I personally think that was like a mass hysteria thing.
Well, like,
People believed they could shift realities
Oh.
and be with their favorite characters and live lives with their favorite characters.
where I'm like with Janie, I've got the same diagnosis. I'm bipolar. And so I'm like, before I tell something, I do have to go, now let's see, are they going to run and scream? Or, I have to decide. It's a lot of responsibility. You really have to, it's not that you're hiding it, right? But you just like, oh, SDA, thank you, my sweet. I don't know. I'm
It
with
always
you.
kind of makes you question reality.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think the brain.
Acting.
I think the brain is the last great frontier for mankind.
Oh,
I think
sure.
when we start to unlock chambers of our brain that, because typically what do we use it between 3 and 8%?
Yeah, it's
The
not a lot.
average.
It's not a lot.
But think about people that could use 15, 20, 25%. Like, we don't know what the capabilities would be. So you could be tapping into previous lives, previous memories.
But here's
memories
the
of,
thing, though, Angela. What if the people that tap into that much of their brain, we think they're crazy?
Mm-hmm.
well, I got news for you. I believe everybody's a little bit
Well,
crazy.
that's true. But what if they're just like, honestly, oh, thank you, SDA. I appreciate you so much.
So who's left-handed?
Not me.
I'm
Angela.
not. I'm right. Well, I'm ambidextrous.
Dexterous. Okay.
Yeah, I do most things with my left hand.
Yeah.
But I mainly only write with my right, but I can write with my left.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right-handed now, but I was left-handed. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm a little bit of an oddball, like, I don't know, oddball, I guess you could say. So I can remember all the way back to being breastfed. I remember my first words. I remember all the houses, and I was only 2, 3, maybe 3.5 when I went into the orphanage. I can remember all the way back to Bayside Village. And when I talk about Bayside Village, when I had a conversation with one of my relatives, they said they said that's impossible for you to remember because you were only a baby.
Not impossible. We do.
But I remember it. I remember all of it. And when I did meet up with my mom one time, when like I had years and years and years ago, she said I was the only baby that was breastfed.
Oh.
Of all the kids.
Huh.
Wow.
And I can remember it. And again, my memory is pretty impeccable when it comes to my life because obviously I lived it. And I've given testimony on it, and my memories led to houses getting raided and evidence being. Long story short, I remember a lot. So I think when you're first telling the story to somebody who doesn't understand what it is you're saying, to them you may come off as eccentric or out of place with what their
I'm definitely eccentric.
what their normal reality is.
Yeah.
It's not your job to tell the story to a point where they would understand it. It's your job to tell the story as the memory that you feel. It's their job to come to terms with it or avoid it. Calling you crazy is just a way to prevent you from continuing to tell your stories. And I think that it's important.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
Regardless of how the story comes out and how it may appear to outside to somebody else, you can't hold that in because it's for me, I think it's more detrimental to your mental health to hold it in. If you feel it and you sense it, say it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Don't worry about what the other people are going to think.
Well, I'll tell you,
that's not your job.
When I kind of like went through the streets of YouTube and because I had the name Paranormal at the end of my name, I got so much hate, and I'm still getting hated on because a lot of people,
You get a lot of hate. I can't figure it out.
Right? And when we first met, you came up because I was like, "Who's this? Who's Shannon?" Everyone's like, "You don't know who Shannon is?" And she came
about you. Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, okay. And then so because she didn't know me, I followed her and I'm like, I'm going to go check out her live stream. And I went to her live stream and I actually came up on your panel
Yeah.
and we talked and she got to know me. And it was like, we clicked. Yeah. And so I don't, but that's the thing with the paranormal. Hi, Kristen. I get a lot of hate. That's why a lot of times if you guys hear PDX, that's me. Yeah. And, unless it comes out of my mouth, you really can't believe it. I'm just saying. And anybody who knows German lady, she really hates me. So
hey, that's well of you.
To be fair, she hates everybody.
Oh no, go look at her. Go look at her video. Her videos.
She hates everybody.
She does. She hates everybody. Being and I was in a chat room with someone, and she did like a 2-hour live on how I was evil. Okay, German lady, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Whatever. Yeah. You know what? Whatever.
Another lesson I learned. Like, not everybody's gonna like you. Oh well.
No, yeah. Oh, I don't care. That's why, Shannon came at me. I didn't get a chance to know her, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go over there because she was. I think she'd been a little drinking or something like that, maybe. And Steve Billings was there, and everybody's like, "You don't know her?" I'm like, "No, should I?" And it was just I can't remember everything, but it was funny to me. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go over there and visit her, and check her out.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I used to troll Shannon before she became family, so.
It's true. It's true.
And I mean like troll hard.
Well, I have calmed down, right? I think. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Shut up. Okay. I used to be the pick and fight stuff. Janie was there. She knows me, and I went round and round and round.
I lived it.
And there's Smokey P. And then I'm like, just what am I doing? Why are we doing this? Like,
I hear you. I'm stuck in that where you were at. Because
but I used to be so bad, and at one point I'm like, why? This doesn't make me happy. I don't even know. I can't even put it into words. And that was in my life too, though. I would be like, thank you, Smokey.
Bless you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sneeze on my damn wall. Right.
That's cool.
I just came to it's true. You're right. I came to the point where I would much rather be a good person and get real connections in the world, or I could have stayed an asshole.
One's fun.
One's
not fun.
Being an asshole doesn't get you very far in life.
I'm just tired of hurting people and fighting other people's battles for nothing. Like, I'm done with it. I'm focused on my writing. I'm focused on my music.
Nice.
And, supporting the couple of friends that I did make along the way, making sure that they're good. I'm always messaging Shannon like, "Hey, don't respond, don't do this, don't do that."
Yeah,
I should probably
like that. I got people that do that, but I.
It's hard. It's hard because you feel that there's a knee-jerk human reaction to want to defend something that you believe in.
Well, when they're too low and go at my kids now, that's where you know.
Oh, that's a line that you got to draw. You just got to.
I've been there myself.
Yeah,
and you're gonna come out of pocket, and then a few days later, you're gonna feel like shit. And it's the people that feel like shit. You can't battle somebody who doesn't feel like shit. You can't fight that. If they have nothing to live for, nothing to care about, and they only care to give pain, you can never win that battle.
Here's my take.
That's a hard lesson.
Steve Billings told me, stop being offense and go for defense.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea. What is Janie has got a epiphany for.
I've got my take on what we're speaking about now. And the reason that people will bring up children or spouses or, any of the numerous things they bring up that aren't even part of our YouTube lives is because they know that once they get you into an emotional space, you're easy to fight.
1,000%. And I've been there. I know I've been there. I've done. I mean, I left a nasty voicemail for somebody one time.
Well,
it's not a good place.
I just hate it when they take what they find and twist it to their narrative.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I got to defend and bring up all the stuff and say, this is how it is, you know, and I've had to do that quite a few times.
Hold on. Why do you feel like you have to do that?
That's my problem right now.
I used to think I had to do that too until I looked at Andrew. Until I looked at Andrew one day when he forgave somebody. When he forgave somebody that was vile to him, purely because of that's who he is. I knew in that moment that he was a better man than I was.
People with a sense of justice have a hard time once you get them emotional to not defend themselves, because you have a strong sense of justice, and justice often comes from emotional places.
Yes,
that's
what I can agree with that, because here's a
logical.
When you become poisonous, when your message becomes poisonous, you no longer have a valid message, and that's the goal of the people that attack.
Yeah,
they want you at their level, because then your message is lost, and then that's how they win.
Exactly. And so you can stay in your logical brain and you can say, okay, so and so said this about my kids. I love my kids. I want to defend my kids. The best thing you can do to defend your children is not to reply, because no matter what you said about your children, it does not make it true.
Thank you.
100%, Jamie.
When I wanted to approach Janie to help me with this, this show, right? I thought she is going to tell me to kiss her ass and die, right? I just do it, but I had to do it. It was, like I said, it was so serendipitous when you came in, when you spoke at Steve's chat, and I'm like, that's who I need to help me. And I reached out and I thought, man, she is going to absolutely tell me to jump off something. And she would have every right. And she didn't. And I was so happy that she didn't. And then we talked on the phone, and we literally have got so much, like I said before, it is, Smokey, the anonymity of YouTube is, it lets people think that they can do whatever the fuck they want. And you know what? You can't. So
I always say people have gotten too comfortable not getting punched in the face.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know,
but again, there's still two kinds of people, Jenny. At the end of the day, even if you punch somebody in the face, if you had every right to punch that person in the face, if you're an emotional person who has the ability to look at right and wrong, you're still going to feel bad about it at the end of the day.
Exactly, and you're going to end up in jail, and you know, that's why we need to control ourselves. And so, in real life, we know it's not okay to punch someone in the face for saying that. We shouldn't really virtually punch them in the face either.
Yes, really, Shannon.
I've gotten into that tit for tat, and it's.
I don't need it.
It's not as rewarding instantaneously,
but
you can be the better person by just doing your thing. It's a slower reward, but more worthwhile.
I'm telling you, I've been hated on because I am actually pretty nice, and I try to be nice, and I try not to react. Only German lady, but for whatever reason, I get these other people that.
I've been called a wife beater, a child molester, a pedophile, a predator, a person that only attacks women, which predominantly that part's probably true.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm like, wow.
We know a lot
a scammer, a liar, a defrauder. I steal from my charities, even though I've given more money and more things away on this platform than anybody in this entire drama community combined. You feel the need to defend yourself, and you give information about yourself, and you give more information about yourself, and the more information you give about yourself, the more ammunition you're giving those people.
Yeah.
No matter how righteous you are, no matter how correct you are, it's never going to work. And that was a lesson I had to learn at the end of about a month and a half, 2 months ago with my stuff with another person on this platform. At the end of the day, I was like, why am I fighting this guy? Nobody really gives a shit.
Right.
How long have you been doing that? Like,
Nobody cares.
okay, so I'm just saying, you know, we have my husband's channel has been here since 2006, but we did a lot with our kids. Is after the kids graduated, we started doing more stuff, and then for whatever reason, I went down the wrong road. Just saying, and so
You have to overcome it. It's hard.
I want to say this year, these 6 months, and part of last year. So we'll say 8-10 months is really gotten bad. Like,
But you almost have to be willing to say, okay, you don't like me, and be okay with that.
Yeah.
I
You
need
don't like me, I'm okay with that. The
I wanna
people
add
will
that.
run their mouth. Don't get me wrong. We all know them. We all know them. But you're just gonna have to be okay with that, because the more you're okay with it, the less they'll do it.
All the people on this panel right here do not get along with each other. PDX.
Right.
that's we're all flip floppers. I'm joking. That's what I've been calling.
We all had we all had sides that we thought we were doing the right thing, and we weren't.
We're adults. We're adults. That's
and
Well, and
part
I
of
will say
growing.
this. Oh, go ahead, Angela. I'm sorry.
No, you go, Jane.
I was just going to say that I think the thing that made it possible for me and Shannon to even speak to each other like we have been is we just let time go by. I just dropped out of it altogether. I think she may have blocked me, but I also blocked her, and I blocked you, Angelo, and I had no idea what was going on in your lives or on your YouTube. And I think just letting that time go by without staying in it,
Right.
we came to a point where she found herself in a different situation. And because I hadn't been around poking and prodding and all that, I knew nothing about anything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a clean slate.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes just removing yourself from any kind of triggers, emotional things, not seeing it, not hearing it, not knowing what they're doing, and letting some time pass. You come back and you find people in a different place in their life. And then you're able to move on from there.
And I'm going to steal one of your lines from your psychology courses, Janie, and say this, since I'm almost done with my master's.
Congratulations.
You have to show demonstrable change. That's the biggest thing. You can apologize to you blue in the face, but if you're still doing the same things, the apology really doesn't register.
exactly
Right.
So it does have to be demonstrable change, and that's the hardest thing to show on social media. When you're not meeting people in person and you're just meeting people on a digital screen, it's hard to show that you've changed. So you have to demonstrate it repetitively and consistently.
Right.
I've done some shady shit, and I've gone around and I've apologized, like to Steve Billings and stuff, and now he's a really good friend. And then there was another person, she came in the same chat where I was at, and I was on a panel, and I was like, you know what, I did her wrong too. I think I need to apologize to her. And so I asked her, come up, I would like to apologize. Oh my God, she flipped the fuck out. Told me to go to hell and everything. I'm like, okay, but you know what? I'm sorry. So now I feel better because I got that out.
Right. I get that too. But it's like, you have to absolutely show that you've changed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
And I think another key
you have to be willing to let go too.
It's not only do you need to show that you changed, but you can't be one of those people who brings it up every time you get into a spat again.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That like just gets rid of any apology.
Yeah.
So like I said,
Absolutely.
I accept your apology, I forgive you, and we never have to speak of it again.
Right.
I appreciate that. That explains my song that I wrote.
Right. If you keep bringing it up, you didn't forgive them.
Exactly.
1,000%. And I'm seeing that across this platform right now by people.
You see it in real life. You see it every day in real life.
Yep. I want nothing to do with that. I
I
wrote a song, Janie, and if you want, I'll repost it on YouTube. It's called World of Pain. It's kind of based on some of my life. There are people in our lives, whether we like it or not, whether we're friends with them or not, that prefer to live in a world of pain. It is the only feeling that they know. And in order to feel good for themselves momentarily, they have to inflict pain emotionally or psychologically or even physically on another person so that they can forget their own pain for a brief moment. And they will live in that world repetitively, day after day, month after month, year after year. And I've seen that on this platform with a handful of people. And that was a point where I had to learn to walk away from that, because it's like nothing I do to this person, even though I'm right, will matter.
Exactly.
And I will end up being the monster instead of try to show people that this person is a monster. So at that point, when you come to that realization, and you can like walk. I mean, it's not saying you forget what they do,
Right.
But you do have to. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I don't think you're sorry for what you. Not you. I'm not saying you.
No, I'm saying I forgive. I do. I forgive really easy. It just makes me feel better. But I always tell people I don't forget. You know.
Stupid.
Even if the other person doesn't forgive you, you have to forgive to move on.
Yeah.
To be able to walk away, because
Absolutely.
they're going to stay in that place. And if you look on this platform, you can see the people that are doing it. Just leave it there and walk away. That comes to the point of trying to like, people call my son stuff, they call me stuff, they call my wife stuff. I don't even need to defend it anymore, because my son is a better man than me, and my wife, with 28 years,
we might have a fire.
Can I ask when your anniversary is? What month? Because my husband will be 28 this year too in August.
Ours was in
Hold on, we might have a fucking fire here.
Oh my God!
It's probably not.
Don't laugh. Put the damn thing out. Good Lord.
We're trying to blow out again and it won't go out. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We were screwed.
Tragedy averted.
Black smoke is coming out. Okay, it's good. We're fine. I'm sorry.
No
Sorry, y'all.
state of disorder. I'm sending her fake candles, because that flame behind her is triggering PTSD in me. Something fierce.
I'm gonna turn it off. Don't worry.
I'll help you. Look, I sent rescue.
To what you were saying, Angela, about people who seem to want to live in a world of pain, there is a book I'm reading right now, and I recommended it to Shannon. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. And there is a sentence in that book where he says, after they've done testing on animals and things, there's a sentence he says, a wounded animal always returns home. Mm-hmm. Now, this is even if the wound occurred at home. So and as humans, we are animals. And people who become used to chaos and drama and pain and violence and verbal abuse, any of those things, would rather return to what they know than face the fear of change or normalcy. And they found that to be true in all animals.
Yeah.
Do y'all see why I went over there and sniped her and said, you got to help me with this? Because she says stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. I'm just saying.
That line from the book.
I can appreciate that and stuff, because I've.
Hold on. We might, again, hold on.
Now it's dark without that
It
huge
is.
flame.
It is.
We had a huge flame that was on the table. It's darker.
We had a flamer here. We had a flamer. Is that what we're calling it? This candle was a flamer.
Like
Let me see. Hold on. I know. Trying to see what time it is.
Just use your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at how disruptive and upset we get when they simply update our phones. Okay. And something changes. And we're all like, why did they change? Why did YouTube change live chat and you have to change it yourself and all these? Yeah. We don't like it. Now, if we put that into play on a bigger scenario and it's your life, how you live it every day, how scary would it be to not have that in the drama and the chaos and the violence or the verbal violence or whatever in your life? It would be scary to come into a home that had been so disruptive,
Right.
And on the
Mhm.
couch, everyone's just sitting around happily chatting, watching TV, and no one drinks too much, and no one yells, and no one stomps out of the house and leaves or throws something against the wall. It would be very weird and alien.
Yeah.
So yes,
That's
some
true.
people do get caught up in that cycle of living in constant pain and disruption.
Mhm.
And there's nothing anybody could do
No,
to convince them that there's another way. It's just you're beating your head against the wall.
yeah,
Be
because
right back. I need to get a drink. I can hear you guys.
you into that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens on YouTube is that these people who are living with that aren't getting it in their life at that moment. And when they come on here and they just hear people having fun and chatting, that feels very foreign to them. And so
Right.
they have to start drama and they have to start chaos. And once you realize that it's a them problem, not a you problem,
Yeah.
it's much easier to deal with.
Yeah. That's 100% true. That is because the internet opened up like some people that are like housebound or and you can make real connections. That's the one great thing about it. However, like anywhere else on earth, you better watch who there's a lot of people here just like in earth that will not show you their cards on who they are
Nope.
until it's too late. And so I'm picking friends very carefully here and everywhere else, but especially here. You have to learn how. It's a learned behavior, I think, around here. To just, I don't know. You're either an asshole or you're not. I used to be an asshole. No, I'm not.
Girl, be honest.
I am
You're
still.
probably still an asshole. I'm an asshole.
I am.
I'm sure
Nice.
This looks like a
sometimes it's fun to be an asshole.
Yes. Yeah, I will agree with that.
Sometimes it does feel so good to say
Yeah.
this ass thing to
It's
someone.
just, I don't even know how I kept it up for so long. I mean, I've said this about any kind of anger. It takes so much effort to pull anger through your life. You have to keep stoking it and making sure that it's, lit. And then you have to drag it with you wherever you go. And then you have to keep stoking it. It's so much easier to let go of it, right?
Right.
But like you said, some people don't want to let go of it. That's all they know. It's like they believe that that's their shield.
Right.
But this anger was their shield. I used to think the same thing. That I protected myself with my anger. That's not true. I mean, it wore me out.
You just had walls of anger that
I
hurt.
did,
It didn't hurt. It hurt you
Yeah, it hurt me. It hurt
more
my
than
else.
it hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very smart cat.
She's
Very
old.
smart.
She's got that old soul.
Because I'll tell you what, as much as your anger may have hurt other people emotionally, it hurt you so much more physically, and you're still carrying the physical stress on your body from that anger. And I am too. Believe it or not, there have been periods in my life where I have been extremely angry and volatile. And I mean, come on.
That's crazy when you guys say that. Okay, so Shannon, you said you're bipolar, right?
Mhm.
I'm bipolar 1.
Okay, me too.
ADHD.
Same.
You should have a fan. You guys should have like a
We
group. A
And,
club.
I know, right? But my anger would get so bad where, like, when we would travel, I would actually drive my own car. I could not be in a vehicle with anybody else because I would blow up. I would fight with them. I was a yeller and stuff, and it's really hard. I've learned to try to overcome that, but and then my doctor put me on Adderall yesterday for the ADHD.
Really?
So,
I don't get none of that because they won't give me a stimulant. I have everything that they won't give me a stimulant, which I get. I understand why they don't do it. But we've gone through, I mean, like every non stimulant, thing for ADD, it has don't work. And
I hope that's what was my issue because of having the ADHD. While I was still getting angry, and I'd start a project and I didn't finish it. I'd do something else, and I would get mad. So this is why he wants to try me on it too. And he's like, "This should like mellow things out and Because
I
I'm
need
a
to buy you
sucker.
the shirt. There's a shirt on Facebook that says, "Why finish one project when you can start 5?"
Yeah,
That's my life.
that's
That's
me.
Yeah.
I told Shannon the other day, it's like, okay, I'm on a main quest, but I've got 12 side quests going on.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Maria,
Maria coming
honey.
in. Hey, everybody.
And I even gave her this long description of like, I'm going to the farmer in the woods who needs a potato, an ear of corn, and some hay, you know. And I'm going and getting him those things. And at the time then I meet the villager while I'm picking him up, you know. It's a mess in my head.
It's what I love though is that it's so normal, right? It's normal. We're normal.
We're normal for us. We're eccentrically
Know about
normal.
things differently, but basically we're normal. I mean, there's nobody out there that isn't a little, if I met
Fun.
somebody that was too calm, I would be side eyeing them like, what is wrong with you?
What do you
I would
want?
be like, what are you on and can I have some of it?
Well, it might be it too. Yeah, that might be true too. Well, we're going to have to end it because it's 112 degrees in this room right now, and I'm going to faint. I told y'all we're not using real candles anymore, and I lied.
I
It's
walk
so hot.
I'm saying I walk in, there's 11 candles. I'm like, Mom.
I
You
thought
should have blown them all out. You should say, you know what? I'll sit here in the dark.
well, you don't do that. Do that. Show
Blow
them.
them all out.
No, we're going to show you. Hold on.
I was
This might
trying
not be a bad idea, actually.
I have 20
Oh,
more
are you going-
paranormal or psychic or whatever experiences
blow
to
my
share with
candle?
you.
Well,
Do you go live or anything, Janie?
I do sometimes. I haven't for quite a while, but I've been trying to think about doing it again. Especially now that I know things have kind of calmed down amongst the people that may want to show up.
Yeah.
Don't like all the
Can we
trolls.
chat one day, just
Can
us
somebody
and
put
talk, private chat?
Janie's channel? Why didn't I say that earlier?
Ow.
All right. Oh, that's not. Well,
Hold on, let me bring the brightness on the computer up.
yeah, hold on. Maybe I can do it. Hold on. Oh, no. Jesus Christ,
Wow.
Catherine! My God, my retinas. Please,
Gotta
my
bring that
retinas.
down a little bit. Oh,
All right, so I gotta send you glow in the dark face paint, and you guys will be all set.
Okay, so I put my number in the private chat back there.
I see that. Yes.
Feel free to add me. You can text me. I would always say text me if you're ever wanting to
Yeah.
call because I don't always answer my phone.
I'm like that too. I'd rather not talk to people, to be honest.
I'm telling you, sometimes
I have to admit, Shannon's been getting better at the answering the phone.
Thank you.
thing.
You haven't gotten better at answering me.
Sure, I have.
She has a ringtone for me. That's why she answers.
I do have a ringtone. I have that Imagine Dragons Thunder is my ringtone. And Chris called me today, and I was like, me and Catherine were on the carport dancing. And he said, "What took you so long?" I said, "We're dancing to this song." But we've got to put Janie's channel in the chat.
I'm gonna head out. It was good to see everybody. Please stay safe. Please
I
keep
love you,
yourself
Angelo.
stocked.
We'll talk.
Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting together in August.
Yep, first week.
I'm holding you to it.
Hey, there's no holding. I will meet you at the Wood Grill, and I will be in the seafood section. All right. Okay.
Night, everybody. Be safe.
Good to see you, Angela.
So Shannon, seriously, the rest of this year, no, but like if I could have the rest of this year to get all my ducks in order and to save up some money,
Just do it.
I would be willing to go somewhere, you and me and someone with a camera and the setup and all that, and do it like real life.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm telling you, let's do it. I think it would be I think we would be hilarious.
I think we would too. I think you and I together,
Yeah.
scared shitless,
Yes.
would be hilarious.
People would love it. They would absolutely love it. but I think it would be hilarious. I think
Now, there's your cameraman. You guys hear a noise. And this is what would happen. Rolling the camera. You both would run past me that way. I'd be like, you two, come on. This like, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna see what that noise was. Come on.
First of all, I do not run. I would probably fart really loud and sit down and start crying.
Oh my God, that's so
That's more my style.
yeah. I'm sorry.
All that would be in my luggage for the trip would be clean underwear.
Yeah.
Because I'd be peeing my
You
pants.
gotta wear them little panty things because that happens. We're that age.
Teresa, we're gonna line up people. That's what we're gonna do next time. We're gonna have a lineup. If you're gonna be, and there's gonna be a line up, okay? And if you don't tell me a ghost story, you're off. That's what's gonna happen.
I still
So
have
every time we do
more
these,
stories.
something else, which is always interesting to me, quite frankly. But we always end up like 12 miles away from the thing. But that's fun. I love it.
I still have about 20 more stories, and I could tell you things about like the Brian Koberger thing. I wanted to tell you that story, but I never got, around to it. But I have a story about Brian Koberger.
Do you?
Yes.
I want to hear that, please.
You want to hear it now?
Yes, I do. I do.
So sometimes what I do is when a crime has occurred, I will do like automatic writing, or I will speak to my spirit guides before I go to sleep, and I'll ask them to show me things, right?
Right.
So when this murder occurred and they didn't yet know who was the suspect and all that,
right,
I prayed with my spirit guides before I went to bed, and I said, show me what's going on, show me what happened.
Right.
And I woke up in the middle of the night after having a very lucid showing of what had happened. Here's what I got. And this was before they knew who it was, right?
Right.
I was standing on the front porch with one of my spirit guides, and they were telling me he lives over there. And they were pointing, right?
Right.
To a huge gray house. And it had a huge red flower pot hanging on the front of it.
Okay, I'm with you.
Now, the thing with these visions or whatever is that they come in things that mean something to me. I see them as things that mean something to me.
Right.
So I'm seeing a huge gray house, a little ways away from where the murder happened.
Okay.
And a big red flower pot hanging on it.
Okay. Oh.
Then I see someone in a University of Pennsylvania college sweatshirt, and it says Diane on it, right? I don't know how I knew it was University of Pennsylvania, but I knew it in my head.
Right.
But the IAN in the middle of the word Diane is in bold letters. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
So when they come to say that this man has been arrested, we found out his name was Brian.
Right.
I had seen Ian.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
We found out that he lived in that huge gray apartment complex.
Yes.
In the picture, which would have been what I thought was a huge house. And then the big red flower pot hanging was actually the big red symbol on the front of his apartment building.
Okay.
If you've seen the picture and seen that big red, it's a letter or something for the apartment complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then past that, we find out that he's from Pennsylvania. He did go to college in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So all these things that I had seen, they just need to be deciphered. And
yeah, I was just saying you didn't know what to do with them.
Right, because they're not necessarily in my personal experience. So when you see or you hear these things, you kind of, your brain tries to make sense of them in some way that you can relate to, right?
You relate to, yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
So what I saw, or what I was told, was that because they were all like, why would you go there? And, you know, it had to be more than one person or whatever. And I heard, no, it was not more than one person. And that they're like, why didn't he kill the other two? And I heard because he was just tired. He didn't realize that he was going to be doing that much. And what we realize now, of course, is that he probably went there just to kill the one person.
The one, yeah.
The person, people woke up and that he did just walk right past the last person like he was just spent.
Yeah, and looked her in the face.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very creepy when these things come to, and I realize that.
Right.
And yes, I do have other similar stories like that. I have one about what's the little girl from Tennessee? Summer.
Summer.
I did an automatic writing, and I went with my spirit guides and I said, this paper in front of me is for you, Summer, you know, and I put her name on the top of it in print because I knew she was only 5 years old. And I said, I want you to draw something for me or write something for me or whatever. And I shared that with a couple people. And clearly at the end of the writing, I didn't get a whole lot. And I think that maybe because she was only 5 years old, she didn't, you know,
right.
But clearly the word in there was creek.
Oh.
Because I said, you know, what happened? Where are you? Whatever, and I got the word creek. Now I didn't get anything more than that, but and then there was one I did with Sebastian Roberts, and I knew nothing about that case at all. I did an automatic writing, and see, I even know so little about it now. What I saw was the name of a man, and what I found out after that is that the name that was written down on the paper is his dad's name, which I had never even heard anything about it, so I don't know where that came from.
His real dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was his name? It started with a G. That's all I remember.
I'm trying to go through my catalog of lost.
And now that's not to say that he's guilty or anything. Like I said, it's all subjective at this point because I didn't know anything about that. But maybe that
names too that probably wouldn't even said during anything, huh? Like dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think what is it? You know, when somebody, let's say Chip Coffee, you do y'all know Chip Coffee? He will throw out things so that you know he knows what he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? He'll throw out those little facts that the Tyler kid in LA does the same thing. He will let things out and they'll know, right? That he's connected.
Right.
You just don't know. They're throwing it out to you, but you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I do. Well, somebody will come through if somebody wants to say something to somebody in chat and this happens. All of a sudden, I'll just blurt out a name, and somebody will be like, "That's my mom."
Oh,
you know, and then we go from there. And then she's telling me or showing me things. Yeah, it's trippy, but people also, you're a scammer. You're this, you're that. I don't take fucking money. It's not something I can control. They don't understand, you know, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with Sebastian Rogers is I don't know that they even know that he's passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nobody's sure. I mean,
it may not even have been him, but someone, whoever I was in, wrote the name Seth. Right. Maybe Seth knows something. Maybe Seth is keeping him hidden somewhere for his own safety. I don't know. I'm not making any like accusations against anyone when I say these things. I'm not trying to make people think, oh, Seth did it. No, because it might not have been Sebastian that was coming through, you know. But I try to work on interpreting more because, like I said, it all comes through in things and I interpret it as what I can relate to, which makes it difficult. Yeah. Like the big gray house, which was actually a big gray apartment complex. you know, and I saw it as a hanging pot, but it was really the big
Yeah.
number or letter on the front of his building or whatever. So yeah, it's hard. And I know people think I'm crazy because I have talked to other people about it, but
There's no such thing
real.
anymore, really.
It's
As
real
people-
to me anyway, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, people have these abilities, and again, and I don't think we run around and call, you know, well, maybe.
I'm an advocate for children. I believe everybody's born with a gift. It's whether you choose to keep that gift as you're growing up, because the children, spirits will come and talk to children because they're just open minded. They're so pure, you know. And then, like, I was growing up, Shannon would know this. Back in the 70s, we had imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Because our parents didn't want to believe we were actually communicating with somebody. And it was kind of like a thing. You just shut your mouth. You don't say anything. Don't tell everybody you're talking about Bobby or something like that, you know?
Right.
So,
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why I fought it for so long, because my very first experience that I can recall, I got in trouble for.
Oh.
Because
I so relate with you.
I was 4 or 5 years old, and I was asleep in my bed at my grandma's house in my bedroom, and it was Christmas Eve. And I woke up, and my great grandpa was there, and he stood there, and he waved at me. He didn't say anything out loud, but in my brain, I heard him say, "I have to go away. I love you." And he waved. And so when we got up Christmas morning, I was all excited. We were all downstairs getting ready to open presents, and there was a knock at my grandma's door. And she says, "Well, I wonder who would be here on Christmas morning." And I said, "They're here to tell you Grandpa died last night." And my mom got so mad at me. She said, "Don't you ever say anything like that." And I remember, like, I started crying and everything because I didn't realize it was a bad thing to say.
Right.
I didn't know why she got so upset over it. But when they went to the door, there was someone standing at the door to tell my grandma that her father had passed away.
Oh,
My
damn. Oh, damn.
And so because I got in trouble for it, and I saw that it made my mom so emotional, and then my grandma, because of course, adults are going to be crying when they found out someone just died. But I thought they were crying because I had upset everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because as a child, you personalize everything. And so for years going through my life, these things would happen to me, and I would always just kind of
block them out.
Yeah. And then as I got older, you know, they started telling me I had mental health issues. And so I kind of let that be the reason for it. You know, I'm just crazy.
Yep, I'm just crazy. Yep. Oh.
And
oh my God,
that I'm not just crazy, that these things are real. Here I am going to be 55 years old, and I've wasted so much time that I could have been honing whatever this is, you know, and I'm just not going to fight it anymore.
Don't. Can I ask a question? During COVID, do you feel your gifts became you became more into yourself, intuitive with yourself, and everything started to become more powerful?
I don't know.
COVID, because a lot of us were isolated at home, so we had a lot of time to think.
Well, see, COVID didn't change that much for me because I'm always isolated at home. Like that is
okay.
I am a complete introvert. The worst thing someone could do is like get me an all expense paid trip across Europe, because I'd just be like, no thanks, I'll just stay home.
Yeah, because your story, you were saying, I went through a lot of that. I'm 55, and it is scary growing up like that. So I tried to block my gifts when I decided to get married and have kids. Figured everything will go away. It don't. I don't. And then the doctors, the mental health. Yeah, I know your story. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, they were scary. I have this one vision that I had. Well, let me tell you about two of them. So my husband, I've only been married once, and we're not married anymore. So I hate to say like my first husband, because that makes it sound like I've been married again. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So my husband and I were asleep in bed one night, and I woke up, and I was just gasping for air, coughing, gasping, and it felt like my feet were tied up. and I couldn't get out of bed. And then it just went away. And I was like, well, that was weird. And I thought, maybe I got choked in my sleep or something. And so I laid back down. About 20 minutes later, there was a knock on our door, and his brother was at the door to tell us that my husband's mother had just passed away. She had emphysema, and she died trying to get out of her bed to get to her breathing machine, and her feet got tangled in the blanket.
Oh no.
Damn.
And she died. So I feel like what I was feeling in that moments were what she was feeling in those moments. And then as soon as she passed, it stopped and I was fine. Now the second one, and that scared the shit out of me, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that anymore. I was like, no, I don't like this. The second one that really scared me to death was when I was walking out my front door and I looked up in the tree that was in front of our house at the time, and I saw myself hanging there. My hair was down over my face, and I had hung myself in that tree. I saw this, okay? And I thought, I was on my way to therapy at the time, at an appointment. And I thought, oh my God, this is awful. And I thought it was me. And when I got home from therapy, there was a message on the phone. My cousin called me to tell me that one of my ex-boyfriends had hung himself and died.
Oh, shit balls.
Now, this ex-boyfriend had the same exact color hair as me, and he had very long hair. So that would explain why I didn't see my face, but I saw the hair and everything. That scared the crap out of me, right? I thought, things only crazy people see. And so I just was fighting that stuff all the time. I didn't want to see these things. And I didn't know what good they were doing for me to see them after the fact or during the fact. I wasn't getting premonitions where I could do anything about it. So,
yeah, because it made no sense to you.
Yeah, it made me feel very helpless and scared. Now, anytime, like I get a pain in my ankle or something, I'm like, oh no, someone's gonna break their ankle. So yeah, it's been something that I've fought my whole life, and always found it easy to blame on mental health issues or whatever, or
PTSD or anything they can come up with. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, they're always going to come up with something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Shannon, I know you've got to get going. I know we stayed a little too long, but huh?
No, Janie was saying she was sorry. Don't be sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean to keep you past.
No, we're good. Again, I'm going to tell y'all next Saturday night, okay, we're going to go and we are going to cover Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen. It's going to be gigantic. I mean, it's me and Janie are working so hard on this one. We'll see y'all. And another thing that I'm going to do, we mentioned kids a minute ago. What I used to do, I don't know if y'all remember this. What I used to do is at the end of every mystery, I would pick children that have been missing for 10, 20, 30, whatever years. And a lot of them were African-American children that had never been looked for. I think we're going to start introducing that back. As every time we do something, we're always going to showcase children that have been missing for a very long time.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it just I love to do that, and I don't even know why I stopped doing it, because I think we were talking about Brian, the Koberger, and the one speck of DNA of his that was found on the sheath of that knife.
Yeah, on the snap.
Right. So we have Asia Degree. I will say this till the day I die. A little African American children from North Carolina in 2000 went missing on not Thanksgiving, on February 14th. She left her house in the middle of the night in a rainstorm. She was scared of the dark. She was scared of storms. She was seen walking down a road, and she just disappeared. Right? We know that she ran to a shed. Now, this is why it just makes me so mad. So what we have found out 25 years later is that for 20 years, they have had the DNA of a family of people that lived near her. That DNA was found on her book bag was taken, all right, and it was buried somewhere else. When they dug the thing up, there were shirts in there that didn't belong to Asia and a book. They did DNA on the shirt. They've had these people's DNA for years, and we are still waiting for someone to go and investigate this and arrest them. So when you have, I always make this thing, if you have 4 or 5 blonde hair, blue eyed kids that disappear, unlike Summer Wells, because her socioeconomic, it makes her, nobody really cares. I mean, I'm sorry, but she's no, Jean Monnet. But it's these other children that we have DNA on, and nobody's doing anything.
And that's messed up.
It absolutely drives me insane. I can't. It like eats at me. Use the thank you, honey. It eats at me. So I'm gonna start doing that because, like I've always said, I always say this. Y'all know we're not gonna solve this. We go through these things. We're not gonna solve it, but that name's gonna come out.
Right? Yeah.
It's going to come out, and her story, and all these. I feel like that. I really need to start doing that again because there's
I was
so
talking
many.
about that the other day.
Yeah, there were so many that y'all have never heard of, and we should all be still looking for and still talking about. So
exactly.
You ever heard the mysterious disappearance of Johnny Gosh?
I've done that one, and he was one of 3 boys that went missing. All paper boys.
Not even 3. Shannon, I lived in that area when that
was
on, and there are so many boys in that area and let me tell you, girls too. And I believe I was one of them who was targeted because there was a time when I was riding my bike alone. I was 10 years old. This was when Johnny Gosh, I was 10. He was 12 when he disappeared. So I was 10 when he disappeared. And right around that same time, I was riding my bike on my road, and this 2 men in a truck came up behind me, then tried to run me off the road, and I ran into a row of apartment building mailboxes. They ran into that, and they stopped, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And they're like, we'll put your bike in the back, and we'll take you home. Now, my hair was standing up on the back of my neck, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go, did you?
No, luckily, I was right in front of my house. I lived in those apartment buildings.
Okay.
And I just took off across the yard and I yelled, "I live here," real loud. And they took off out of there like bats out of hell.
Wow.
So we have that, Johnny and that Sunday morning. And we know that there were 2 people. We know that. And then there was another one, and then there was one of the kids. One of the 3 boys is not even mentioned in a lot of these, when they start talking about it, because again, socioeconomics, his family was poor. And quite frankly, Johnny Gosh's mother has not helped this situation at all, saying that he came to her and he was, 20 some years old and said that he couldn't come back. And she needs to pick. Here's the thing. I understand it's her son. I would probably not be in any reality-based world to know that my son is out there. Right. But for her to say that he came back and he was taken by this person and that person, he couldn't come back, but then she still wants everybody to look. And I'm like, pick a lane, honey.
I think it messed with her mind badly.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. Oh, bad.
And I think that his dad was part of it. I think his dad was part of a web of like a sex offender type web of people out of Nebraska.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got into all that.
I 100%. JD, you got to know, when I do these things, I research this shit. I have I know, right? With him, there was another kid who was a band, but he said when he was a kid, he was
the Paul guy.
Yeah, abducted just like Johnny, and he went and showed them the houses that he was put in, and all that story.
He showed him Johnny's initials on the wall.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, we're just, he is in jail. I think he actually went to jail for something. That guy.
Yeah, he did for child exploitation and abuse.
Yeah. So you have this cast of characters through a lot of these disappearances that I don't understand why people aren't on.
Right.
I don't understand why people act like these people don't exist. That are. I would just. I don't even talk about it right now.
I think his
makes
dad's
me so angry. And that's why I'm always so. I don't do any case that's more than 20 years old, or at least 20 years old, because everybody talks about the recent cases, right?
Yeah.
Nobody is talking about these other kids or these other people. They're just forgotten, and they're important too.
Right.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I don't do one that is not at least 20 years old. It's one of those, I guess that's my sense of justice. And I always say we're not going to solve it, but it'll be, prayers will be lifted up and their names will be mentioned. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do.
And I agree with that, because also the current ones, I think that when you start investigating and sharing information and trying to get involved in it, you're disrupting a true investigation.
Yeah.
I think these ones that are 20 years old, they're not able to work them anymore. And so talking about them actually brings them back into the forefront. And that's when they look at it again and say, it was right there all the time and we didn't even see it.
Because what will happen is we'll have 300 or 400 people that'll watch this, right? After next Saturday, there'll be 300 to 500 people that will watch this. And thank y'all watchers that never talk. I don't know. It might ignite something. Yeah, I don't know. But
we share it out. Good. That's the thing too. We share it through Twitter and wherever everybody shares it. So yes. So you get a lot of shares out there. So it's going to hit somebody. They'll be like, wait a minute, I know that case.
Sometimes it's in the file for 20 or 30 years, and all it takes is a fresh set of eyes.
Yep.
A fresh set of eyes to see what they missed.
This is what happens. And I will tell you, don't get me started. They will know who did it. Just like Asia Degree, they know who did it. But for whatever reason, they will let that person die, right? And then come out later. Well, then he died and we just didn't have enough.
Right.
What? He had DNA. Brian Kohlberg is going to, you had one little thing of DNA. We got DNA all over the place.
Right.
But it happens over and over where they will just let the suspect die because the person that was murdered or kidnapped, whatever. Oh, well, I don't understand it, but I've run into it over and over and over where police just ignore the elephant in the room until it dies. There's Jody, God, I can't, who's in truth, who was a reporter in Iowa, and she went missing. Whoever got her jerked her right out of her. She was a morning anchor, so she was like at 3 or 4 in the morning going to work, and somebody knew it, and somebody yoked her up, and nobody's seen since. But now, the person that was suspected of doing it has died, and now all these police, all these court, filings are being opened now.
Right.
But she's been missing for 25, 20, maybe longer than that. And they let the guy die. And now they're going to court and wanting to open up all the files. And a judge even said, no, we don't think so. Why? She's still gone and he's dead. What are we not doing here? But so I've got an update on that. I need to do an update on her. Yeah, I don't know. This stuff kills me when this happens, especially the children. There was a couple of children that we covered that were missing from group homes, and they were small children. And at least one, it was always like 2 or 3 that did it together. But one of the kids wore a helmet okay, because of seizures. And they were under 10. And people just said, well, we just thought they moved on. I'm sorry, a 10-year-old just moved on. They went and got jobs. And I mean,
Yeah.
are you serious right now?
Right.
And that's happened a couple of ones that we've covered. Group homes running away and they just were never looked for. No.
They just
Right.
running their life, you know.
Yeah,
10
exactly.
years old.
They were messed up. Who cares? Basically, is what they're trying to say.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to start doing that again because,
That'd be cool.
yeah, well, people say, why do you do this? I'm like, it just makes me feel like I'm helping. Am I helping? Probably not. But it makes me feel like I'm helping. You know, you get take a little bit of control back in the world.
Well, even if it only helped one time and you did it 10,000 times, isn't it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, good night, Tennessee, honey.
All right. I'm sorry we got you started.
No,
again.
we're
We could
good.
talk forever.
This is good. This is what we do.
Yeah, we could talk forever about crime and normal and all of that stuff.
Yeah, we could.
We could have been doing this for years.
I know, Janie. We would be famous right now.
I know. We
So
would.
Shannon, you want to come on my panel next week? Because I know you wanted me to go live Thursday. People were saying
Thursday. Where am I?
during the asylum.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was out and about, girl. I couldn't do it. I was like,
let me tell you what. I ain't even gonna get into it. I ain't even gonna. You know, Stitches Malone.
yeah.
I'm gonna get into it. Him and his girlfriend Tara, apparently had a lot to say about me last Sunday. Now, mind you, I don't subscribe to them. I don't like them, and I didn't really know until somebody told me that I am this big villain in their world. And so Thursday, Stitches Malone got up on Steve's panel, and then he started talking about he wanted to see me and Tara talk, and he was Team Tara. And I'm thinking, one, why do I have to talk to her? Whatever the words you use in regard, in talking about me, I can give a shit less. It ain't gonna change the truth, which is I ain't got time for you. And they started bringing up Stinky Brown, which Stinky Brown is a guy that lives in Kentucky, has not had running water in about 10 or 20 years. He has 40,000 cats, no car, no nothing. And he threatened to shoot my son in the fucking head when my son went to Cincinnati, which my son goes a lot. And I'm thinking, whoa. I picked on Stinky Brown. And I did give him the name Stinky Brown, but he was very much born. So I am going to have to. I love Steve Billings. I love to go in there, but it's like if you're going to, I don't go in there to start fights. I don't want to. I just don't want to. That day that Kevin got up there, I was already on the panel. Kevin came in with his pussy on fire, wanted to argue, and I mean, okay, I'll give you what you want, dude. But generally, I don't do it anymore. I like to do it on somebody else's panel, give them the views. Right? Jay, I thought about him either, but apparently Tara thinks that I bullied him. Oh, damn well. I'm just I'm better than that. I don't need to do it. If you don't like me, okay, don't worry. Go ahead, do your panels, talk about how horrible I am. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. If you think that about me, then that's fine. You
have the right to your opinion.
A couple of years ago, they'd have been right, but not anymore. And these are people that I'm just not gonna. You're not gonna bait me. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm smarter than that. You're not gonna do it. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And if you don't like me because of other people, then that's on you. That's
your problem.
I got nothing, whatever. So I'm waiting on her to jump up on Steve's panel and want me to argue with it. I'm like, bitch, you ain't worth it. I'm sorry. I'm
Did
sorry,
you think I was
honey.
coming up there to argue with you, Shannon?
Do what?
Did you think I was coming up there to
Oh
argue?
yeah. Oh yeah. When you popped up, I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I was arguing with Kevin. Kevin came up there specifically to argue with me, and I just,
I know. People,
because me and JD, let me tell you, we've had past.
Yeah.
Carolyn SW does that with me too. If I'm up there, she'll come up and like, oh, PDX and blah 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 blah. I'm like, shh.
I knew Janie was getting ready to bust me out, and I'm like, here we go. And then I sat there, and she was really just completely interested in Kevin.
Yeah, I just saw an opportunity to ask some questions I've never gotten to ask anyone. So
I was shocked. I was shocked, one, that she didn't come at me with both feet, right? And because that's what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And Willie, she was just given a genuine interest in him, not exploiting him, but a general, genuine interest in what happened, with
right.
That's why when I saw her again a couple weeks later, I'm like, I'm going to ask her to contact me, and this is either going to go very good or very bad. And I was ready for either one, quite frankly.
Well,
so it was really good.
Nice.
So. And so now I've got Janie, like, she's in case mode research. We are doing it, and thank God she agreed to it, and thank God she's having a good time.
I will never turn down the opportunity to discuss intelligent conversation material.
Right.
I love it.
It doesn't happen often. I try to make it happen.
Not on here.
I really try. Every Saturday night, we try. We've got the Paranormal Pajama. Then we got the regular Saturday Night Mystery Club. Then we've got the conspiracies. So we're building up a pretty good little rotation.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I just want to say, Kat, it was lovely to meet you, PDX. It was wonderful to see you and talk to you and all of that, even though I've seen you in chats before. And I'm going to jump off so that Shannon can't blame me for keeping her up to it. But I'm going to go read my book.
Oh, that's just so messed up.
Right.
I know.
Well,
I'm going to get back. I'm going to let all the blame fall on you, PDX.
Man,
okay, I'll take the blame. It was nice meeting you, Janie. Yeah. I appreciate that.
The book that we're reading is so, like, if I'm away from it for a little while, I miss it. I've got to go find out. This book, Janie, would you agree? It kind of moves very quickly. I mean, this
yes,
is
it does.
Yeah,
and I love how in depth though that she goes.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Like she has a wonderful memory.
She does, but I mean, after all that kid. Like I said, Jenny wanted to drop her off at
the firehouse.
I wanted to
at the drop
punt her all the way across the street. This kid, but we'll make her likable, probably. I don't know.
Well, I think once we get into the neurological and then the environmental and all of that, we can at least make if we can't make her likable, we'll at least make her I can't even think of a good word
because she's so
palatable.
Palatable. So horrible. But we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
She's not we'll make her less hated. Let's put it that way.
Palatable.
You might not like her, but you won't really hate her that much.
Yeah, if you put enough cheese on top, anything tastes
good. We got to cover that bitch with a lot of cheese.
Yeah,
it's bad. But PDX, thank you for coming up. And Jay,
thank you for having me. I'll get a hold of you. We can go live this week and stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's get ready with the button, damn it.
Peggy, what the hell are you and November Man up to? I'm keeping my eye on you two. I don't like it a bit. Anyway.
Kat, it was good seeing you. I miss you guys.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a long time.
She won't come down here when I'm covering regular stuff.
I come to Cat's Corner. I don't have a life.
Shut the hell up.
Well, do you want to, like, next week, whatever works for you guys? You guys want to come on the panel? We'll just shoot the shit.
We can do that. Yeah. We're
whatever.
Yeah. We got
I
nothing.
have to check my schedule.
She's like, I'll pencil
I've
you
already
in.
checked mine.
Yeah.
There is nothing going on. No,
But
well,
we-
no, man, I want to thank you for coming. I mean, I'm glad that Peggy Drake
Okay,
drove
yeah.
here. I've enjoyed watching you. Bye, PDX. Bye, Janie. We'll see you. If we're not over on PDXs, I'll share it out. And then on July 5th, I'm probably not going to go live on the 4th on my birthday, but I might. You never know. I don't know.
Man, you might shoot a live out. But you'll go live on my birthday?
All right, that's true. I'll go live on my birthday. All right, I'll see you on Friday. It's my birthday.
My Cash App is...
Shut up. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.